What's good, chat? It's Wednesday. We're back. I have a fantastic panel here. As usual, we're lucky enough to have the Lady B with us.
Hi, guys. I'm glad to be here.
How's it going, Lady B?
Good.
Good. We've got special guest Shield Wall just out of the panel.
Hey, what's up? Here to talk about dragons and stuff.
Hell yeah. Dragons are so badass.
Talk about dragons, some fun stuff. So Shield Wall's the guy you want to chain to your panel, just so you guys know if you have a channel. If you can, just trust me, it helps out. Speaking of chain to a panel, what's up, Will/Alex?
Hey,
Sorry, I'm
babe.
gonna screw that up every time. So
Oh, good, man. Good to be here. And I would love to talk about dragons. Have you seen any in that last episode? Because I didn't.
There's a few passing shots of them like sitting on the edge of a castle or something, but that's it. They're referred to a couple times.
yeah, we will get into this stuff too, because there is stuff to discuss there. And you're right, that's a big one. It's a big one when you make a show all about the dragons, then have no dragons in it. Not tying into my seat that way. But let's say hello to some lovely people here. We have got Love It Early talking about splitting hairs. I mean, splitting hairs, maybe, huh? There's a dad joke. Shield Wall's here early. Cajun, what's up? Cajun, good to see you. We got Gourd King, our house in the middle of a war.
I guess they started fighting just recently, so
Yep.
they can claim that now.
By the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
Gourd King is crushing it right now on YouTube. His Biden stuff is
Oh gosh, I'm not.
second to
not
none.
like- Oh, I'll have to check it out.
It's so cool when people find that stuff. Like his memes are unreal. And like you do all this weird stuff on YouTube and all of a sudden you just fall into something you like to do and you're good at. And there you go. I love it. I love wanting to see that happen. And so congrats, Cord. Shield Wall, you're going to get down here next someday.
I don't know. I'm not as creative as everybody else on the panel is.
Dude.
Like writing books and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm just old. And yeah.
You're not old.
You think I write books?
Well, like on a lot of the other panels that I'm on, people are writing books, they're doing art, they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're, the race car drivers.
I don't do that anymore.
She does all of that. So we have all of that right here with Lady
exactly,
B. She covers it all.
They're writing like
I
scripts.
try. I
They've
feel
done,
like at this point, like
Yeah.
Alex or Will has done more of my novel than I have. Because I don't know. It's like I moved out here is a big emotional thing. Like it's just been a real trip getting used to living out here. And yeah, it's just been like I don't have the creative energy that I had before.
And I'm sure that Will is extremely talented. I mean, he bagged you, so must have worked out somehow. But
most impressive achievement of my life.
I love you too, babe.
Yeah, you're already on the right track, bro.
Speaking of crazy shit, like getting used to the Midwest, like we had a huge storm. What was it? Tuesday? There's a huge, like it was crazy. There was a big tornado. Like it was all this like passing through, like moving eastwards. And there was a big old tornado in Des Moines apparently, and we were under like a tornado / derecho. What do they call it? Like severe weather alert. Mm-hmm. And oh my god, like
no
the sirens were
right?
The sirens were going off. The sirens went off 3 times. It was crazy. It was like green sky stuff, and there was just for probably a good 2 hours, there was just constant thunder. We got tons of rain, and then eventually the wind started picking up, and it was so scary because like I'm just watching the trees outside because our bay window in our kitchen like looks out to like kind of a woody area, and the tops of the trees were just bent over, and luckily none of the trees broke because there are some derecho damage from the last derecho we had, and there ended up being a tornado, but it was like north of Cedar Rapids, so yes, it's good.
What was that word you said? I honestly don't know what that is.
Oh, the derecho. Okay. So a derecho is
like a chip snack from like New Mexico.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like an all land-based hurricane where it's just severe winds, like tons of rain. I mean, we got depending on where you were in the city, we got 2 to 3 inches of rain. like in an hour and a half.
How much rain? That's
Yeah,
like below average rain.
Just a little bit.
You gotta get to
Uh,
that.
Well, so at Gord King, I dropped your memes link in the chat there for everybody. So thanks for bringing that up. Show while everyone else, let's go through Adega. It's up, Adega. Speaking of accomplished writers and imagination machines, good to see you here. We've got Jana. What's up, boners? Sup, boners to you too. Sup, boners to all. Bloss is here. She will use smooth chocolate voice, Chad. He does have a chocolate voice. You could do some narration stuff. Unless you already have it, just don't want to tell us.
ASMR.
That's right.
Just kidding. That stuff is creepy.
Until I started recording, I had, you don't really hear your own voice. I just sound totally different in my head to my own, you know what I mean? My own self. So to me, I sound nothing like I do on, when I'm streaming. To me, I sound like, you want fries with that?
Yeah. No. Right.
Yeah.
That is a trick you learn, though. You don't want to listen to yourself too much. But when I lose my voice next time, we could work something out.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Who else we got?
No more throat aids.
What do you mean next time? What are you doing where you got these? You know what's going to happen.
I just recognize patterns sometimes.
He's like, when Nos comes to visit next week.
Yeah. Wants me to gargle a little? Never mind.
Yeah, gargle.
Don't swallow.
Don't swallow. Just go. Okay, get the camera. Holy shit! Could you have that charged first, please, Nos?
Yeah.
We've got who else is coming? Vex. What's up, Vex? Great to see you.
Vex.
When you need a hero, if you're not Lady P. Yeah, absolutely.
I was scared. I was scared of this storm. Like, I'm not used to that stuff, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm used to like earthquakes. I'm like, I could just go outside and it's all good.
That's true. Yeah, you're not going to get collapsed and sunk and pulled into the earth like you would if you were, say, in Portugal. That was pretty.
Oh
sad.
my god, that's scary.
Yeah, they had like the capital where we stayed, the former capital. Actually, like there was a volcano that came up in it, and it pushed most of it into the ocean, and so they got a new capital city.
Oh my god, what city was that?
It's all I can look it up for you, but it's put it out. Delgado took over, and this city, where the volcano is, there's now like a caldera that is separated from the land, but where the city used to be. But it's like one of the most exclusive places to get to. It's hard to get to, and they limit visitors. So, but it's like some of the best snorkeling apparently ever.
Oh wow,
Maybe there's people down there who could say, I don't know.
I saw
him
laughing at Nas's comment.
A little trip.
Oh man.
Yeah. We should get Nos on here someday too.
We should.
I have been I've been working on some stuff that I'm probably not gonna get into too much tonight, but like just looking back through patterns of media, which is a super boring topic. So one reason we're not going to talk about it tonight, but like just these it's the same people that have been saying the same things for like, 5, 6, 7 years now, but we're just seeing them now and they have not changed at all. And their patterns are so in place, it's freaky. And if you go back and look, like it's amazing, amazing, amazing. You guys, if you don't like it, you're this or that. And then the finale, it's like, maybe it wasn't that good at all. And then to the next, like they're done and then they move along. Nacho Lisa, Team Aemond. Okay, sure. Team Aemond.
He probably has the highest T in the show. Like
if we get into that, he just doesn't say anything at the council meeting. They pick him and immediately he starts giving smart commands.
Now that the adults are in the room.
Yeah, he just knows what he wants to do, and he's not vain or you know what I mean. He doesn't have all. I mean, he's got issues, but if your issue is trying to sleep naked with a older woman, at the
and
whorehouse,
get busted,
is your only issue, then I think I'd pick that over some other issues, but I really like that he was like, all right, we're going to do this, cut those rat catchers down. That was dumb to do that in the first place. And they're just going to do it his way. So we'll see if he, starts going crazy or not, or he's making good decisions, good tactical decisions, good strategic decisions, good political decisions. And Alicent was like, the whole time she was just like, he's usurped my power or whatever, because she wanted to be in charge. But
Yeah.
and then Cole stopped simping for her, and so did Laris. They were like, those feet are stale.
Oh yeah, she's done now. She's
Yep.
used up.
It's like I don't know. She's gonna have to get a haircut or dye her hair or something.
She made the mistake of going right to feet. Like, you should save that until later in your career when everything else is used up. Then pull out the feet. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Jana, tell us about feet in the chat. So I put work on some stuff, but this is one thing that I've sort of put together just to kind of show our boy. He's one of our favorites. You guys all love him, and well, love is a strong word. It's our boy, John Campia. And so this is back. This is his finale episode of season 8 Game of Thrones. And he talks about, he's answering a super chat. He talks about Dan and David. And I may have made some modifications to this, but I think it helps make the point. So hopefully his audio, though, this is not my fault. His audio was fucking awful back then. So it's really bad. He's tinny and no one told him. That's a bad sign. But let's go. Hopefully this works.
Next up will be... Maybe that was it. No, we have one up from Sif, who writes, HBO offered the showrunners more money to do 10 episodes, but they said no. That is what truly made me enraged at the pair. Again, I love Benioff and Weiss. I love what they have done with this season. I love, where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head backs and go, woke, 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 woke. So, I don't know. So that's the one, Chris. I'm with you on that stuff. I love these guys. I love what they've done. Big thank you to Benioff and Weiss for giving us one of the most iconic television series of all time.
While Dany kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her.
Whatever is going to get you off and make you feel good about yourself.
That's basically what happened, I think.
God.
Yeah, that whole there's so much about the original Game of Thrones that was so good, and then some of the stuff they did to it was just terrible. Like, I personally hate how they depicted the Battle of the Bastards. That shit looks stupid. How they got in that situation. How
you hated that battle?
I hated the.
Oh.
It's just the way they shot it. Because in reality it would have been in a much bigger space than that, but they had them like all. It just wasn't. It was stupid, and then the battle with the Night Walkers or whatever at Winterfell.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. They're like, they might as well have just had all the Dothraki just ride into a ravine or something and kill themselves, because they were totally wasted. Just a lot of and then of course,
but they showed up again later, like they're reformed as other people and still were there to fight again. So it's like a video game. Maybe they hit reset.
Yeah, it just, there were so many different ways that they could have defended that castle, and I don't know how they couldn't light the fire trench. Like, who screwed that up? It was just one thing after the other about how they used it, and so you could tell.
Melisandre thing. I have to remember that stuff because I was watching. I watched up to like episode 6 as it aired, and then I got divorced, and so I didn't even have TV for like 2 years. I never saw it until like I rented it from the library on DVD when I was sick one time, and I'm like, I'm gonna finish this, and I was like,
I didn't even start watching it until it was all over, then I started watching it, and then I got to about season 5, and I was like, okay, where's this going? And I never read the books or anything, but it was just, you could tell that the production quality was going down. What is Daenerys doing? I don't know. Maybe she was getting her scroll arms or something by that point.
Dude.
but
do we think she could ever act?
Yeah, I think in she did a couple of good scenes with what's his name in the very beginning in the tent.
Oh yeah, those were, you're right.
Jason Momoa, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. Those were pretty good. But
true, fair.
And
then, did you know that was a that was a TV show?
She spoke Valyrian really well, I think.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what language that's based off of, but all the people that were speaking it in the show did well with it. It felt like a real language to me, you know.
It was cool.
Same with Millie Alcock or whatever. And when she's the younger Rhaenyra, when she was speaking it, she was doing very, very well.
I'm surprised by like how that's worked out pretty well because she's such a weirdo in real life. Rhaenyra, the adult Rhaenyra.
Oh, her, she's like Hey, I mean, if it works, it works, right?
True.
I can separate the actor from the role
For sure.
I mean, it's so hard. I mean, she said it was like, oh, it's so easy playing a woman. I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, because she's like an it or whatever. So she's non-binary.
I mean, I haven't read the books for that either, but I heard there's fat Rhaenyra. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I wanted fat Rhaenyra. I'm not gonna lie, like it's so funny that these shows they'll do like all of this diversity, race swap, everything, like everyone's gay and whatever, and then it's like, oh, there's a character that's like fat canonically. Oh, we can't have that. Can't do that. No.
Yeah, and I don't know why did she get fat? She was just like depressed.
Was she? Well, okay. First of all, her dad was like, have you read the book?
No, I haven't.
Oh, her dad was like horrendously fat. Like he basically got super fat and died of a heart attack in his sleep. And so she's kind of like the same thing, indulgent. She had like 6 kids too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just sort of kind of like, oh yeah, she's fine. She's just I don't know.
This iteration of the show, the world they show us with these actors, and there a lot of people are already, I guess, standing for them because they're saying they're under attack. Like Frankel, who plays Kristen Cole.
Yeah. There are a lot of idiots out there that can't separate the dude from the role, unless the dude is like Kristen Cole, and that's why he plays it so well.
He's definitely not, but like some of the casting complaints are, I think legitimate. I don't want to beat them up too much tonight about it, but like all these, I think he's 6'4" in the books. He's like a bit of a Chad, and this he's just not. And so what they say in all these forums is, well, it's not about, it's about acting. So can you play, if you can you act well? Well, like, what do you mean by act well? Because a lot of acting is physical. And so if you can't do the physical stuff convincingly, then really no, even though he says the words well, his expressions are fine. Like there is more to it. And historically there has been, and they've done that. Like, here's an example. Here. So is the Mountain terrifying if he's 5'9"? Does this scene work as a fan if he's small? So they switch places. If it's the Squire and not him taking the sword, are you more or less concerned? Like, does it add to the show or not?
The only way that you could pull it off if you had someone with extreme gravitas, like Daemon in the dragon armor, right? If he was, you know what I mean? Yeah, he looks badass. He's not just, but a lot of it has to do with the armor, but also your
I feel like Matt Smith does it. Like, I was really surprised. Like, I had only seen him as in Doctor Who, and he's such a like weirdo in that. Like, he's just so like quirky kind of thing. And then I saw him in something else. I want to say it was like he was in The Queen. And it was something else where he was really,
he was in The Queen. He played
where he wasn't
the Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah, he was in something else too, where he was like not a gig guy, and I was like, okay, I could see this guy doing Daemon. Okay, so I'll take it back. Like, he looks kind of weird, but I like him as Daemon. I just wish the characterization was better and the lines
these
were
last
better.
couple of episodes, he's turning into like some kind of like effing up by the numbers kind of cuck for whatever that chick is. She's definitely, in my mind, she's banging him. She's
like that was kind of what was implied in the book, but it's like they just don't like. I mean, everything about. I don't know. I had problems in season 1, but I don't feel like just keep on complaining because. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think they're attacking the actors because of they were cast in a role that physically they don't always fit. So like they all look the same, and it's the issue I have with the Batman too with Robert Pattinson. He's surrounded by cops, and you can't see him because they're taller than him, and it has a different effect than if they're coming up to his chest. To me, just visually, it's annoying. And then like this is a bit scarier because he's 6'8", and 350 pounds. Like that's scarier in this setting than if it was if it was Tyrion, we wouldn't be taken aback by all this. And so it does make a difference if you're a good actor or not. It depends what the role is.
Not if it was giant
Zax,
Tyrion.
to
like
take it
in,
a step further.
Yeah.
There's a psychological thing that all people do, and it's more pronounced in men, but it's in everyone as well, where every person, every stranger you look at, you subconsciously evaluate whether or not and to what extent of a threat they are to you personally.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons that modern Star Wars sucks so bad, is everybody looks at fucking Amanda Stenberg and goes, this is a child and a goofball, not a dangerous Sith Lord.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's just it's a subconscious thing, and it's the audience doesn't choose to do that; they just do it. And so, you're 100% right. The fact that Nadia is sending Kristen Cole mean DMs doesn't mean that we should be.
She's just mad about his new haircut.
I know.
The new haircut is terrible. By the way,
because there wasn't a dry hoo-ha out there in season 1.
I feel like a lot
all
of his
on him.
True.
Like character is just like it's character design that like the costume design. I like their armor, the Kingsguard armor looks so weird. It's so like bulky and puffy, and at least they've gotten better helmets in this season. But man, the season 1 helmets look like Punisher things. Like they just bad. That doesn't make somebody look like intimidating because it's just this big bulky thing that they're doing.
And they cast Brienne. They didn't cast Brie Larson to play her.
Right. You couldn't. Well, in the book, she's supposed to be big like that too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah. And threatening.
But in the books, these characters are much bigger than they are in the show. Like it's not even close. Aemond is a baby boy in this.
yes.
Like you pick him up, you carry him around. He's not scary. It's just the dragon that makes him scary, which is over there somewhere. And for me, that does bother me. Daemon is not the same because Daemon can fight, and we've seen him take on tons of guys. Well, even more ways than one. It is, Matt Smith, right? Who knows what he does on the weekends? But I'm saying, like, for this, like, we've displayed that we know he can fight, and he could pull it off. Walking around, it's a fucking boring, but he's walking around that empty castle in his pajamas. But at least you think, okay, if he gets attacked, he's gonna handle it.
It just has.
But
to,
not
it has
Aemond.
to make- It has to make sense. Like they have something special about them. They're highly trained. They've got a super serum or whatever. Otherwise, like this wouldn't work with these two if they hadn't hired her who's big like that.
Right.
Unless there was some other thing going on, like she was magically enchanted, she had a magic sword that made her strong, or whatever, something like that.
Jeez.
Other than that, it's completely unbelievable. Which, among the other things that is wrong with the Acolyte is that, like, you didn't think that anybody in there could fight,
That's true. Yeah, it's even
Blistering
worse.
hot take. This still didn't work. I don't care that Brienne of Tarth is 6'1", 200, and good look, and built well for a woman. The Hound is still going through her, and it was stupid even then. But
I mean, I think the only reason she wins this fight is because he's messed up. Like he'd gotten shot in the thigh and stuff. Yeah,
but also, is the way she in the book is the way she's depicted in the show, or
yeah, pretty much.
I didn't really mind it. I mean, like, if one thing, like, Gwendolyn Christie's just a little like too pretty for her, but I don't like.
Yeah, true. That's true.
yeah.
Oh, she's supposed to be like really like.
Oh my God! In the books, Shield Wall, they never shut up about it. Literally every time somebody mentions Brienne of Tarth, you literally get Jaime Lannister thinking, "Wow, her face looks like a ham, but a ham that was half eaten and then left out for a week." And like he emphasizes this so much. At
least when he first meets her, I mean, his opinion changes after later on.
Do they like, because they hook up in the show, if I remember correctly?
Yes, I like.
Now, did
I
he do that? In the book?
No,
They called that an arc at the end.
Oh,
it's not an arc.
Right. Have you seen those two actors like together off screen, like doing interviews and stuff?
No.
Oh yeah, they totally act like they would be banging.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
That's fine.
like because but like in a playful way, like they make fun of each other and that kind of stuff. But I could see them be, they're quote unquote friends. I would say friends with benefits, probably. Yeah,
Maybe.
because
Why not?
if you clean her
Why
up, she
not?
doesn't look half bad.
I know she's really pretty. I think. Like, I mean, she's cute.
Because I think
but
didn't she start out as a model because she was so tall?
probably.
Or
I
something?
think so.
Yeah.
Also, hated this one. She should have totally hooked up with the Wilder.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Garland, or whatever his name was.
But all those arcs hit a brick wall called season 8, so it didn't matter anymore. All right, so that was kind of what I want to get into more, but it's a big thing on Reddit right now, I guess, because I was looking up. Okay, well, who are these? Like, how tall are these actors in real life compared to the characters? I want to see what that is really like, and like all of those threads have been shut down. All these like visual stuff that's been up has been taken down. I don't okay, so now I have to do all this work, and don't make me work.
So who's taking it down? Like
the moderators of the channel.
the moderator.
Reddit.
Respect for the actors, it's called, is the movement now.
Oh,
I could respect the actors.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that though. You're putting effort into it, and people are just like, I don't like your haircut, so I don't like you now.
To quote Mad Men, that's what the money's for.
True. Yeah, and then when they cast these guys who don't look like the characters at all, that's, you have to expect someone's going to say something because they're based on people who've been pictured, drawn, and they're described constantly, and that's part of who they are.
Here's a thought. I like the guy that plays Aemond. He's creepy and he does a good job. I think he's a good actor. Yep. I would have never cared about how tall he was if they hadn't given us those extremely terrible, like, emasculating, like, nude scenes. I would never have even guessed he was even that short, because you can do cool forced perspective things. I mean, how many freaking Al Pacino movies or Robert De Niro movies have we seen?
Tom Cruise.
That guy is so short. And Tom
Cruise. Talking about the brothel scene that was nothing but sausage.
Yeah, like this big flaccid moment.
Hey, he just came out of the pool.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Fluff yourself a bit before you do that turnaround, though, dude. Like,
right.
You don't have to be all the way, but you can have like a semi going at least. You have to be flaccid unless you're in the chat right
Well, here's the other thing about these showrunners and people now. The internet has been out for how long? And it doesn't matter what you do, who you cast. There's always going to be somebody out there that's like, I don't like this about the show or whatever. But you have to expect that kind of stuff. You got to think about it when you're casting somebody. Like, does this person like line up with the role? And you might be able to get away with it if it's like a really talented actor that will surprise you. Because I've been surprised by some people in roles where you see them and you're like, oh, there's no way this is going to work. It's going to suck. And then it turns out that they're really good in the role. And you're like, holy crap. I didn't think they could pull it off, but I don't see anybody else playing the role now.
Right.
Yeah. Or, you have other people that are in a role and you could replace them with 20 other people.
Yeah. I agree, but they do him no favors, like Aemond specifically in the show, by having him be naked and curled up in a ball for 2 episodes. Because prior to that, I thought he was a badass with his armor on a dragon. He's great with the sword. Like, I'll buy all of this stuff. Just don't do the opposite for me. Then let me at least pretend.
Is he like that in the book?
No,
he's not. So he's not like, I'm gonna go be with the first woman I was with in the brothel, and she's gonna hold me while I'm naked, and then. Why are royalty just going down to the brothel anyway?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, fucking king, like, bring the hose up to you.
You gotta import them in.
To quote Nick Van Exel, you need to import the talent.
Yes, exactly.
And that's where Joffrey was right.
He brought him up there so he could do whatever he, whip him with the crossbow or whatever.
Break out the crossbow.
Yeah.
I miss Ross. Now we just get fat Ross. Sad.
Is there anything funnier than, like, these showrunners ruining their characters because they don't like that the audience enjoyed them? Like,
I don't understand what they were trying to do. Is this supposed to appeal to like the female audience or something? Like, look at how vulnerable he is. He's not really a bad guy because of this. I think that's what they're trying to do. Is they can't have like an actual evil character anymore.
No,
at all. And he's a white straight guy, so I don't understand their problem. He should be they should be happy to, like, throw him under the bus. But no,
No.
they did this to him. So maybe that's why they gotta cuck him and make him look like a emo and stuff to diminish his badassery.
Yes,
have
Shield Wall.
BIT here.
You enjoyed Daemon and Aemond, so we're gonna ruin those characters now.
Right.
Sorry, you got to own the chuds somehow.
Actually, the highest T thing I saw in the whole show so far is the king coming in that one episode where Otto's going to sit on the throne and think he's going to be pimping, and here comes the king with his pimp cane. It's like, get out of my seat. Like Kenny Powers with K-Swiss. I'm in, you're out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's a depiction of Aemond from the books, or from the World of Ice and Fire version.
Yeah, I love that book. I brought it out.
Me too.
Sorry, my cat got on here. He's having a moment. I'm like, oh yeah.
Nice.
The Rise of
I also
the
brought my
Dragon.
map book out. The maps are cool. Oh, you have the Blood and Fire book. I think that's just actually the first half of this book with different illustrations.
It is, yeah.
But yeah,
I've got another. I have another one too upstairs. I've got the other volume.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy, would you know, I can get behind this guy, and I guess there's some of us like Josh who can get behind the other guy too. But
to quote Silicon Valley, this guy fucks.
Yeah.
This guy does not fuck. The other guy fucks.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
The guy they got to play the characters is fine.
He is. He's
right?
good.
Yeah, he's good. He kind of looks the part, sort of. But he's a good actor. He was in The Last Kingdom. So he's familiar with like sword play and all that kind of stuff. And he's
I recognize
a
his
decent actor.
giant jaw.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but see, I think the majority of people watching the show have never read the books like me. So.
I don't think the showrunners read the books.
Probably not. So they add this stuff in, and people are like, "Oh, okay, this must be what it was like in the book." And you never know with Martin. There's some of the weird stuff he does. So,
true.
Yeah, I was like, it could happen like that.
This is him from the Last Kingdom.
Oh, he was that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
To an extent, I think it plays into
liked that show for a while.
A lack of production talent. Like, if you were a good director, you would take one look at this guy and go, okay, this guy is never allowed to be out of armor. Ever.
Yes. Right.
Like, we understand the limitations of our actors and actresses.
Yep.
We're going to put them in spots to do things they can do, and we're not going to put them in spots to do things where they can't do. And Rings of Power with Galadriel being in fight scenes is a classic example, another classic example of putting actors or actresses who can't do things in spots that they shouldn't be in.
Right.
And it's weird that the lack of production talent below or above the line is as bad as it is in these shows.
Oh, I wouldn't say below the line. I'd say above the line because they're the people that are. I think it's like a characterization because it's like, like Mike was saying in the chat, like it's just like the show was like made for women or something, and I'm like, yeah, it's got like this sort of Tumblr like feel to it. It's like let's write a fanfic about Aemond Mommy's issues that I think he has because I can't like conceive of characterizing anyone without like. I don't know how to explain it. It's like these people believe that, like, you're the trauma that happened to you, and that's your entirety of your personality or your stupid things.
Do you think the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones were still targeted towards women mainly, or men? With some of the they had a lot. Yeah, they had a lot of they had a lot more nudity in them.
I think it was more like. I don't know. Like it didn't seem to be.
I still think it was targeted to women. The guys liked the stuff, but the things that were happening, I think there were a lot of women out there that were like, "Oh, that's horrible. I secretly wish that was me," kind of thing.
I'm gonna live out the real fantasy.
That's true.
Well, I'm not saying that, but
that's the thing. That's the thing. That's weird. I spent too much time on Tumblr.
Mike, I don't think
another good movie.
Lack of production talent. I think they're doing it very consciously. So this is, speaking of which, this is Tumblr art.
That could be it.
Yeah, Tumblr art.
And so it's Tumblr art, but even still, like Kristen Cole, it looks like, okay, this is a guy that these two ladies might
Who
actually
is it supposed
fight
to be?
over.
Like
Rhaenyra.
Helena? Oh,
I- I-
Rhaenyra.
I think that's Allison.
It's got to be Rhaenyra and Allison, right?
What is with this stupid
Yeah,
blood? Does he have
that's
a nose
Allison,
ring?
and that's. But these are when they're young.
Why did
Allison's
they?
taller than him in the show.
Why did they draw him as
Close.
a woman?
Yeah, that's
If you've been on
stupid.
Tumblr,
That I don't know.
lately, I haven't, but that's a thing. That's like an anime
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
obsessed with like gay relationships and shipping like straight characters with other same sex, usually guys. It's like this weird
Like
thing, and I
Hollywood.
can't really figure it out. The only thing I could think that really explains it is that they only feel safe like in a having a homosexual relationship because it doesn't sort of like challenge their fantasy that they have with these people. It's really creepy. There's a lot of
Nas is starting to wild again in the chat.
know.
don't
Rule
you
34.
There's so many things like you see from that.
Yeah.
So many things I've seen.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Dude, look it
No.
up. Rule 34, anything.
Yeah. I don't know what any of the other rules are, but everyone knows what Rule 34 is.
Rule 34.
Maybe there's a list somewhere. It's like the Ferengi rules of acquisition.
I love those. Those are good.
The traditional rules of the internet is actually, I feel very old saying this, one of the original meme blog posts of the
Like back
early 21st century.
with bulletin boards and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Back
I
on
missed
boards.
that.
Yeah. So what's rule number 1?
I don't know.
The
I don't.
internet is undefeated.
It's been a long time since I've looked at it.
Well, I want to get into the dragons and get into other dragon stuff, get into the rest of the show. But first, I have one more clip I want to share, which is not related to anything, but it's a great palate cleanser. And I laughed my ass off today when I saw it, and I thought it was fake. And it is not fake. So, wow. You guys, I hope you like it. We'll see. If you don't like it, fuck off. Here we go.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest.
Don't move.
Get on your belly. Get on your belly.
On your belly. On your belly.
Whoa! Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake.
His name is Mr. Pancake. So they
like,
Pants choosing his pants.
is he a streamer?
no, he's a homeless guy who breaks into Petland. He's like he's an AJ kind of.
An AJ kind.
He's got like a leopard costume on. His name is actually something Pancake. So that's legitimately his last name. And they found him after breaking into a Petland and freeing a bunch of the animals. And like there's those puppies everywhere. There's birds flying around. It's a fucking disaster. And he's like passed out in his outfit. And so they're trying to arrest Mr. Pancake, which is like the fucking best ever.
Why are they calling him that, Mr.? Just be
His
like,
name is
get on-
Pancake.
Yeah, but get on the ground. You don't call anybody else by their name in any arrests I've ever seen.
I mean, this
Maybe
guy
he's
probably
just
does this
known
a
to
lot.
them.
He is. They know him. Yeah. That's why they know his name is Pancake.
Oh, they probably arrested him like 400 times and it just keeps getting released.
He was released
Yes.
the day before. He just got out. He was arrested. He was arrested and released for arson, for commercial arson the day before.
See, this is the problem. He needed to not get released unless he
Yeah,
was
you don't
posting
say.
like a huge amount of bail. But it sounds like they were just like, oh well, we'll just let him out so he can, do it again in 20 minutes.
And this one takes a surprising turn
Oh
though.
my god.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest.
Don't move.
Get on your belly. Get on your belly.
On your belly. On your belly.
Whoa! Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake.
On your belly.
In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly. What is going on?
In the name of
I
the
got
law.
one. Are you kidding me? What the?
You're lost. Okay. Hey, Six, good to see you.
Is that guy
Ja-
from like the 1920s? See, in the name of the law.
See, in
Stop.
the name of the law.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he knew this was going to go viral, and it's about to go viral too, for sure. This is from like last week. I saw it today. Thank God I saw it today. Man, I was not expecting this. Where's that? Okay, Six. Hold on here. Good to see you, Six. Where's that guy you had in your channel who hated his kid's hamster named Chewbacca? Wasn't that Roman?
Yeah, wasn't it? And it died.
Yeah.
Really killing
And
hamsters.
it got buried under his like sidewalk or something when they poured the
That's
concrete.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
we
bunch
don't
of
have
other
hamster killers on
hamster skeletons.
anymore. Roman is no longer welcome. Oh, he's kind of welcome here, but he's old, so he's at Denny's. I assume right now,
Having coffee at like 4 p.m.
probably.
Dinner.
I was thinking Perkins, but
They don't have
Yeah.
Perkins in California.
If he lived in the Midwest, he'd be
Sucks.
at the skillet, the iron skillet.
The
There
white
you go.
spot in Canada.
The white spot. Hey, let's not get racial. Welcome, Sammy.
I love the
Hey,
white
Sammy.
spot.
Sorry about that. I totally mixed up the time zones where when you asked me and I was like, I'm going on Gucci's, and then when you're like, oh yeah, that's an hour difference, and then I forgot that you're hour.
You gave me an excuse to rewind, Mr.
I
Pancake.
know you've
so
been all sorts of late, like falling asleep on House of the Dragon. How dare you?
did you see the last episode? I mean, it's hard to.
I was able to sneak it in before this, and I can't believe I did not
You
fall
would have
asleep
fallen
during that
asleep
one.
during that.
If I was
so-
gonna pick an episode, that would be the one to do
George,
it.
seriously, get down. Like, what are you
Am I the
doing?
only one that thinks if the police arrest you more than 4 times in 5 months, they should be allowed to beat you as they're arresting you?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
You can in Russia. They'll do it the first time.
Right?
Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna prepare.
I
my-
guarantee if this dude was in Russia, he would not be repeat offending.
No.
So after Mr. Pancake, I have a little bit of a giveaway to do, but let's finish Mr. We'll finish Mr. Pancake. Please clip that. Somebody.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest.
Don't move.
Get on your belly. Get on your belly.
On your belly. On your belly.
Whoa, get on your belly, Mr. Pancake.
On your belly.
In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly.
In the name of the law, Pancake.
I don't want to be shitting me. Give up your other hand.
Am I under arrest for? Seriously.
Breaking and entering. Theft.
Damaging.
Oh, God, there is a gerbil.
Oh, there's a
Oh my god.
I got a gerbil. What the heck?
That's gross. I don't even want to know.
Multiple
don't.
gerbils.
gerbils recovered.
Multiple gerbils.
Get out of here.
We're just advising that our suspect has multiple gerbils in his hands.
I love the UGG boots too.
Yeah. And
Multiple
David's
gerbils
Mr.
incoming.
Pancake. I mean,
I agree. I agree with Mike has bad knees. They could have just been like, "Hey, dude, wake up," and then
Just gently.
you know what I mean. Unless he has a history of violence or something, in which case, why would he be back out on the street? It makes no sense.
I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm glad
Let's
they
be
didn't
real,
tase
Shewall.
him because that's what I would have started with, and I would have felt bad about the gerbils.
That's
Oh my
true.
God,
That
I
would have
think
been
it would have been
a mess.
tased too. Oh,
I would assume that's how like electricity would arc.
There's
I don't
only one
know.
way to
You're
find
the
out.
engineer.
It's
So,
true.
but let's be honest, guys. If you had a way to start yelling, "Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest," you wouldn't do that. Like that
Yeah,
would be the
no, I
entire
would take
reason to
that
go there in the
opportunity.
first place.
Oh, absolutely.
that's a golden opportunity.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Mr. Pancake had gerbils in his pants. It's like a 15-minute video, long
If you
form.
hear that with like out any like video, you would think they were talking to like a dog or a cat or somebody's pet. Like, oh, it's Mr. Pancake. Get out
Mr.
of there.
Pancake.
Yeah.
We can get into the like. Is this like a chicken or the egg thing? Is it because his name was Pancake that he ended up like this?
How do you get a last name of Pancake unless he legally changed it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he
I don't know.
legally
You know.
changed it.
Yeah.
Oh, of the
Down.
Newport pancakes?
Yeah,
The
he's
Waffle House
Reginald
pancakes.
Wellington Wadsworth Pancake the Fourth. He's he's heir to the syrup empire.
Zach handing out like
Yeah, memberships.
memberships. That's cool.
Yeah,
I don't even. That's sweet.
Do you got to pay for that, or is it like a free button you have? On
it's a free thing that they've just sort of released.
okay.
You can get 10. You can give free 10 a month, 5 at a
Oh,
time. You can't do it not in the same day. I think anyone can. So, yeah, why not? That's fun.
Oh, it
That's
doesn't
cool.
have to. What do you mean anybody can do it?
Well, I think any channel can do it. I don't know. if
Oh, I
there's a
thought
limit
you
to
meant
it.
any person. I was like, wait a second.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay, so it's any channel. Okay.
It's a cool thing because really, like as a creator, your membership stuff is it's not just a way to like, I mean, it does help you, keep the lights on or whatever, but it's also a way to like actually communicate with people who usually would like the work you do. And then you can find out what they're doing because there's no messaging system, which is really dumb for YouTube. They used to have one and they got rid of it. Too many dick pics, probably.
Yeah, probably. Who
Makes
knows?
sense.
Crazy stuff. Yep.
But
But that shows you how technically, up to speed I am. I'm like, oh, they've got.
There we go. We're back. So, dragons. The granddaddy of them all, I guess. Well, I don't know if he's the granddaddy, but he was allegedly the second biggest, but the one that's kind of the most famous. We got Balerion, the Black Dread, in this.
Valyrian is cool. I love Valyrian. Like, that's such a badass. Like, that's like the alpha Chad dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No argument there.
I love
Now,
that illustration too. That dude's like surfing the freaking dragon.
So these dragons were all the ones that came from Old Valyria after the Doom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there any ones that are recorded that are from before the Doom that were famous, like big ones, or like the biggest one of all, or anything like that?
I don't think we have any history of
Didn't Valyrian pre-Doom? Oh.
Yeah,
it is pre-Doom.
Yeah, he was there before.
But he survived the Doom and made it over to what I do know that. But like Martin just put out a blog about dragons and the whole thing like a couple of days ago.
Oh, really?
And he talked about how they're not nomadic, they're very territorial, which is why when the Doom happened, most of the dragons died, because the only reason that they would go anywhere else is if their rider took them there. They don't like fly all over the world, because if they were nomadic, there'd be dragons everywhere and everybody would be eaten and dead. So
oh yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Right.
That makes a ton of sense, and I don't think needed to be clarified rather than him writing the actual book.
Yeah,
but...
he should have wrote the actual book, but he went into it. And he talked about how they were what'll happen is you have a young dragon and it'll grow and it'll kind of fly around for a while, but eventually it'll find its lair. And then once it sets that territory, it won't really leave it again unless something like really significant happens, or it gets a rider, and then the rider can take them places. But if it lets it go, like it'll just fly back to wherever its normal territory is. So wild dragons aren't like flying all over the place breeding, and so there's Dragonstone, King's Landing, and that's about it. That's the only place you're going to find dragons in Westeros during this time. They're not going to be like
Westeros for sure. They're not.
Yeah. Well, right. There might be some. I don't know if they're in another area, but if they survived the Doom and didn't get killed in some other fashion, they're going to stay in where their lair is around that area, and they don't hoard gold or any of that kind of stuff like other dragons do.
See, I almost don't like that, because the way I would understand it to be is if they're capable of nesting full time in King's Landing, they weren't doing that before the dragon pits were built, which to me would indicate that you can basically make an environment that dragons will live in.
Well, so what it is you bring the dragons there as the riders, right? They have they hatch eggs. Those eggs hatch, then that then becomes the lair of the dragons, and then they stay there. They don't go looking for like another spot, because as long as you're feeding them and stuff, and they don't like want to kill each other, they got enough space apparently, then they'll be fine.
Okay.
Now they might, like on Dragonstone, they're, I guess, like sheep stealer and cannibal hang out there too.
Yeah,
they just kind of fly around and eat stuff.
There's the ghost dragon that's there too, but he doesn't get eaten by. It's not cannibal, but somebody else eats him.
Right.
Allegedly.
I'm not really sure. And when I say a local area, I mean they can, it might be like 100 square miles or something to where they're like flying around in. And they'll range farther than that, but they won't move permanently away to where they would like make a nest and have babies and stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, those are great, aren't they, Goba?
He has a big thing about them. They're two-legged, like birds. Like they have wings. And...
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Me and my brother have that, like, when you get like overtired and it's like 2 or 3 in the morning and you're just sort of laughing at everything. Well, we started this like argument on summer night because he used to work nights at Home Depot, and I was writing a story, and he had come back, and I just wanted to hang out with him because I didn't see him a lot, and so I was talking to him about dragons on my story, and we got in this fucking retarded argument about like, do dragons have 2 legs or 4 legs? It was so funny. Like the entire summer, we would just like get around their parents, and we just start bringing it up again, and we would get like. We're totally pretending, and we get like really like aggro about it, and our parents thought we were really fighting. It was so funny. I love it.
3 in the morning is a good time. Before I need to give Squeaka, you have your clip, but also Squeaka, do you want any other clips than this one? This is the classic Squeaka. Let's go.
Enough. I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me.
Gandalf? Not the wandering wizard.
The same.
The same.
The same. How about this a little bit? I won't play it all the way through, but a little bit.
While Dany kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her.
And the Golden Company has arrived in King's Landing, courtesy of the Greyjoy fleet. The balance has grown distressingly even.
While Dany kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces.
We need to find Euron Greyjoy's fleet and sink it.
Your Grace, he's already destroyed a good portion of our fleet.
While Dany kind of forgot.
It goes on for a while, and then this quick one.
7:02 already this morning, and just flying by like this week. It's Wednesday, right?
I think so.
Hump day.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Hopefully we'll have a dry hump day.
It's not real. Oh.
That's from Detroit.
There you go, Detroit, baby. So Jana wants Sammy jokes.
Okay, Zax, what's a Jewish pedophile say?
I don't know.
Would you like to buy some candy?
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, look at this. I love the support. Yeah, in the chat here. These guys, they forgot.
Like...
Go on, more. Get me canceled.
No. I don't know. That's really all I had offhand.
So the whole going back to the whole 2-legged versus 4-legged thing. So, Martin was like, 4-legged dragons are only.
Oh, here I was just reading this, and I had to take a picture of it to send it for my brother. But it says dragons do exist in the world of Westeros. However, wyverns too down in Sithorios. So my own heralds do not have that excuse. Ergo, in my books, the Targaryen. Oh wait, I was reading this one. Much of the confusion about the proper number of legs on a dragon has its roots in medieval heraldry. In the beginning, both versions could be seen on shields and banners, but over the centuries, as heraldry became more standardized, the heralds took to calling the 4-legged beasties dragons and their 2-legged kin wyverns. No one had ever seen a dragon or a wyvern, of course. Neither creatures actually existed, save in legend. So there was a certain arbitrary quality to this distinction, and medieval heralds were not exactly renowned for their grasp of zoology, even for real-world animals. Just take a look at what they thought a seahorse looked like.
Yeah, and he's talking about.
How does he know? Like, does he know what they thought?
He's saying, like in my world, they only have 2 legs because in real life, no animal with wings has 4 legs. And I agree. Like, well, they don't fucking breathe fire either. So,
True.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, but his whole point is like, look at birds, and bats and stuff. And I'm like, look, if you want to make it that way, that's fine. And from what I understand, in the Game of Thrones world, there were like these wyverns or whatever that came from one area. Yeah. And then there were these
flying dragons.
And then there were these like fire-breathing lizards that had 4 legs, but they didn't have wings. And then the Valyrians used magic, blood magic or something, to mix them together, and that created dragons, which makes sense.
From Septon's Barth, A Natural History.
And I'm okay with dragons with only 2 legs. But a 4-legged dragon is much more superior. And if they had gone up against a 4-legged dragon, it would have shredded the shit out of all of them. Unless it was like super.
But like, think about, like, I looked at it like, we have chickens, right? And me and my brother both witnessed our chickens like just tearing apart a lizard and stuff. Like that, I think of a dragon like like a raptor or something. It's like the front legs are like a bat, like they're
Bad show wall.
They're the wings. There you go.
No, but think of a four-legged dragon more like a cat and not a lizard. Okay.
But like how do they make, like, what's the biology of the wing structure? How do they get out?
It's on its back. It's just
Thank
like
you.
a Pegasus or something.
Thank you, Trip.
And of course he says that he hates dragons with small wings that can fly, and I agree. You got to have a big wingspan. All I'm saying is if you have, especially if they're manipulating hands, well, that's the other real big problem I have with J.R. Martin's dragons is they're dumb as cats. They can't talk. They don't have magic. They don't do any of these other things. Now it's his world, and in that world, that's fine. But I prefer more of a D&D dragon that has its own language, its own culture. They can use magic. You could even talk about like Skyrim dragons.
Opposable thumbs, dude.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it wasn't supposed to be a difficult question, right? It was supposed to be pretty
Can we
obvious.
talk about the cool illustrations in this book? I was just trying to find a natural history and look at freaking Aegon, like the Conqueror.
Let's get to Solo.
That's cool. Like, look at this illustration.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. Like,
yeah.
I don't like the new book that they came out. There's some not good art, and I was kind of sad about it.
I also think that
good night, Corey.
That Smaug, as he was depicted in the movie, because in the book and in that illustration that you were just showing, he has front legs. Obviously, it's like a long, like almost like an Oriental or Asian dragon. Yeah, I know.
Right, I'm just looking at. You guys want to see some more cool pictures? I'll find some.
Yeah.
I feel like they've really dropped the ball on their like illustrations of the castle and castles and stuff. Like, where was?
Oh, good night, Jana.
Where did I see that? Like, this is Pike. Like, this is pretty cool. The Iron Islands here.
I don't want to say it's because she's Persian, but like, if there was a Jewish dragon, it would be Smaug. Now Jana's leaving.
But I like how Smaug looked in the movie. Now, I don't like all the stuff he did in the movie, like where they wasted 30 minutes melting down gold to pour all over him that did nothing. And
that was dumb. Like, why you can't kill a dragon? Come on.
But I also think that Smaug would have destroyed pretty much any of the other Game of Thrones dragons. Just
kind of, I don't know.
Tore them apart.
Purely by being significantly smarter, I'm tending to agree with you.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Check this out, you guys. This is the Eyrie. Like, the show did this place so dirty. Like, look at how pretty this is.
Yeah.
White marble, blue roofs. Like, look at those kind of cool fairy tale castles, like in Switzerland and stuff. Come on, guys.
Which one did you like better, the Game of Thrones Eyrie or the House of Dragon?
Game of Thrones, like, it was way cooler. The moon door and stuff. I don't feel like we got a lot of external shots of the Eyrie.
That's what I mean. The external shots is what
I don't remember what it looked like in the show. I'd have to say.
In the new show, it looked a lot better than in the Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones, it kind of looked like crap.
Yeah, I don't really remember, but it didn't even look like the area. It was just like, it didn't even look like it was in the mountain. Like, so low effort.
We had Daemon's wife like fall off her horse and die.
Yeah.
There in front of it. That's kind of like, we didn't get a ton of actual, anything to look at there. I'm looking for some other dragon stuff. Oh, look at this.
I like Toothless. Like, it was actually on George R. R. Martin's blog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cute.
Toothless, that is a favorite. What about this one?
I didn't realize there was like 12 books in that series.
Oh, the How to Train Your Dragon series? Yeah, it's quite a few.
Matthew McConaughey.
that cartoon is cute. Like, I've seen bits of it. I need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Reign of Fire. I saw this in the theater. I haven't watched it since.
Reign of Fire.
Like, stop looking at me. I'm gonna get a map or something.
What about Dragonheart, boys?
Yeah, Dragonheart. I liked.
I gotta watch that.
Dragonheart. That good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, lack of respect for Mulan here.
Yeah, that's true.
That movie looks cool. I need to watch it.
Oh, you would love it actually.
You've never watched Mulan?
No, Reign of Fire.
Oh,
I just didn't like when the dragon in Mulan tried to pick up like a trans hooker.
Okay.
Yep.
I kind of remember there being like weird cross-dressing stuff in it, but
They were disguising themselves. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no, that's different.
No, there really
I was
is.
just
There's
saying
a
because it was
difference
voiced by Eddie
if
Murphy.
people dress up like that.
I was
as a
going to say
disguise,
sometimes it's hard for writers to separate the actor from the character,
as opposed to you know what I mean. Like it's an actual disguise to like sneak into a place, as opposed to this is how they want to be all the time. You know, big difference.
I have got I got one here too. That this is going to be a vote. It's going to be a battle, and based on what Will had just mentioned, one of his dragons. And hey, what is up, Gooper?
Gooper.
So this is, I just made this up. So give me a second, people. Relax. Talk about something amongst yourselves. Here we go.
So, how'd everybody's day go?
Good.
So
Good.
It was good.
what do you
I'm
think
on layer
about?
2 of my wedding dress for having it, and I'm just like,
Are you making it
done.
yourself?
No, I bought it, and it's got like a lot of layers. It has like 8 layers or something, and I needed to hem it, and it's like it's not hard. It's just a lot of work, and I knew that again. It's like everything with weddings, the starting price is like $500 for the work, and I'm like, I'm perfectly capable of doing this myself, and it's been expensive.
We have a battle here between Elliot from Pete's Dragon and Toothless.
Oh.
Come on, that's
From a
easy.
totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there, you know what? And this is the one, this is like Mortal Kombat. We opened the gates, we pulled in the dragons, and here they are. Like, they don't want to fight.
Power wise,
they're gonna fight.
Is way stronger. He can
Or what about the Mortal Kombat dragon?
Ooh,
because he can disappear, he can do all kinds of stuff that
My Photoshop is not that fast.
See, I'm tempted to agree. I think Elliot is way stronger, but I think Toothless has a little more dog in him.
He's cute. He looks like an Evo. I always saw him.
Yeah,
Like,
Elliot is kind of good. Well, also, he's an imagination in some kid's head. So,
Whoa, he's real to me.
He's got pink hair.
I watched that on VHS so many times.
Me too.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
He's got that Democrat haircut though.
Yeah. Well, and then Toothless is obviously, super cool, and
Toothless is a king.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He's better than any of the other dragons in the show.
He's cute. He kind of looks like a cat too.
Also, he's got that pulse thing he can do. Yeah, I don't know.
Elliot will be underestimated. That's true. That is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be like, look at this clown thing. It looked
underdog.
Yep, but he can go invisible. He can actually make certain parts of his body disappear.
Plus, he's like a cell animation in like a IRL movie, So I feel like that takes some the technical stuff and just Toothless is just CG.
Right.
Right. All right, so chat. Let's give us a vote here. It's Elliot from Pete's Dragon versus Toothless. So Toothless, to his
there we go.
in an advantage he has is, isn't he ridden by Jay Baruchel? I think he is, who's Canadian. So if you love Canada, vote for Toothless. Go Canada, go. And that's how you kill a poll. Just like that.
Well, also, Toothless, he gets a girl later, so.
He does, and his girlfriend's cute, she's a little white dragon.
But both of them are his type of. If you notice, like how Toothless acts, it's basically somebody just took a video of their cat and then animated over top of it.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it. I mean, I haven't seen the whole movie. I've seen like a snippet of it on plane, so I didn't even have the sound. But I'm like, he's so cute.
Mike has bad knees. Probably just voted for Elliot now because
he's like, nope, no cat.
I loved all of them. I was like, after my wife's surgery, she said she wanted to watch that movie. And we ended up binging all 3 of them. It was
there was a TV show too, like a cartoon or whatever.
Yeah, and it's getting its own world in Universal Studios.
Ooh, that would be actually cool. The town is cool looking, and
yeah, I'm hoping it's the town, but I won't be disappointed if it's like the Dragon World.
That's a good way of putting it, Trip. Toothless is an evil cat, and Elliot is a goofy golden lamb.
Yes. That's
Okay, yeah, I
100%
like
it.
that. I like that.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's very true.
The
Toothus isn't an evil cat. Toothus is a goofy cat.
Yeah.
I think Trip is trying to say all cats are evil.
I mean,
It's like when our cat George meets the goofy lab across the hall.
I like the dragon that no thank you. I like the dragon that what's his name's dad finally gets to ride, like the leader of the village, because it's like a steam dragon, like comes out of the water and it has like
yeah. I liked all the different dragons at the end. That was cool.
I like the big fat one with the tiny wings.
Yeah, like how do you even fly, bro?
They're magic.
With the character, I can't remember his name, where he's like everything is like D&D. He's like, this has +6 to this, and
yes, that
he knows like all.
I gotta actual watch it.
Oh yeah, I think you would love him.
And see, this actress, she looks fine. There's nothing wrong with her. It's just look at the two pictures. Maybe if you like made her blonde and put blue contacts in her eyes and did a bunch of stuff which is unnecessary, and instead of just hiring a white actress that looks like Astrid.
Well, do you know what this ties back to though?
DEI.
So, yeah, I mean, yes, definitely that, but also Campia, like that was the source of his rant that led to him coming on his face.
Oh, because people were wigging out about this change?
Because he was saying people were wigging out about this change.
Yeah, rightfully so. This is fucking bullshit.
Well,
unless this is like she has the same voice and can act and stuff, but you're telling me that nobody else that showed up for this audition could look like her, unless instead of showing this picture, they need to show her what she would look like as Astrid, and then that would quiet everything down, perhaps.
People just needed to stop taking John Campia seriously when they saw that he had 15 different Funko Pops in his background. Like that should have been the end of it. Like,
yeah, it's a red flag for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Are they doing a live action of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is going to be
no ideas.
It's going to cost, in order to do it right with this, it's CGI and whatever else they're going to do.
Why would you? Why?
Because they can't come up with anything new. This is popular. Jump on the bandwagon, start cranking it out, make the sausage, you know. Yep. But you know, got to make sure that it meets all of the current standards so that nobody will go see it.
Yeah, I was like that doesn't scream Viking to me.
Don't you watch the BBC? Like, English
no
people
kidding. Have you seen the last season of the Last Kingdom? They literally had like Chinese and Mexican dudes.
Yeah, they did
as mercenaries. Which
as mercenaries, fine.
I could see them as but in England, no way.
No, I know.
If it was Constantinople or like or Rome or something, fine. But nah, that was they were you could. It's just so obvious they were trying to jump on that bandwagon. And look, if you want to, if it's historically accurate, sure, put them in there. But that Vikings Valhalla, where the leader of that one town, it's like, no, get out of here with that.
The black lady, Viking?
Yeah.
So, like, what was it that like Queen Elizabeth? Now they're doing one about the Magna Carta, and I'm like, they're all black people.
If they want to make it like a kind of like Bridgerton, where it's really not real and you can tell, I'm like, all right, do whatever you want. It's like a fake universe or something.
Yeah, if you're doing historical fantasy, that's one thing. If you're doing historical fiction, that's another. Like that's, I'm willing to suspend disbelief on certain things, but like The Last Kingdom for like what 4 or 5 seasons was pretty. I mean, it wasn't always historically accurate, but I mean,
they tried to set it in the world. It had Alfred the Great, the real stuff. They made them all.
Yes, exactly.
And then they were just like, well, time to go woke in the last season because probably they needed it to get the funding or who knows what. I mean, that sometimes that sweet black rock money you can't turn it down. If you want to make your product or whatever.
I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
I just don't see regardless of who they cast.
I kind of missed that show. I think like I stopped watching it before the last season, but like it just got really like woman crap in it, and I'm just stopped.
It kind of did, but I don't see how they're going to do the dragons in this. I'd like to see some like concepts or what it might look like or how they're going to move or whatever. Because I could see the world that they're going to do whatever park it's at, doing animatronic and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now I haven't read the books, so maybe it's a little bit different if they're going to try to. Yeah, there's like 12 books in this series, and so if you're trying to do like a different adaptation, sure, but if you're trying to do like what Disney does and just completely do like a live action of a previously existing animated movie, one, it never works out, and two, it never works out, and let's not forget three, it never fucking works out. So I don't know why everybody's so infatuated with this. I talk with Gooch about this all the time. There's certain stories that are just better left being animated because
seriously,
it just doesn't work. And I don't know how it's going to look. I mean, I don't want it to be bad. I mean, I always kind of hope that things are going to be good, but like when you're showing stuff like this right out the gate and you're already showing like identity politics and things like that, that goes to show me that your heart isn't in the right place to begin with. So I can't imagine it's going to be good.
When you see something like that, your first thought is, that's the best person for the job.
Yeah.
Because and then we're like, well, what would make you think that? I don't know, the 50,000 other times we've seen it,
Yeah, to have any faith in this show literally requires you to turn off the part of your brain that recognizes patterns, which you just can't do.
Well, to be fair, that's what modern media has been trying to get people to do for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like I
Nobody
feel like
says it like you did,
all
though.
these things.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that sky you're seeing, that's not blue.
Yeah, no, it's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, you're crazy. That's not blue. Why would that be blue? Who would ever make the sky blue like that?
Yeah,
that's it. And pattern recognition, exactly. It's that kind of stuff that people don't know how to argue that well, but it's 100% true. And so this is John Campia's argument that gets him in trouble.
God.
So have you guys seen this? I'm sure you probably have. Some of you have.
I have not.
Enjoy. I'll have to pause it occasionally for Trudeau. Captions are on. Let's go.
Wait, why? So he can catch up with the stream? He personally watches your show?
Who, John?
Yeah, Trudeau.
I hope that he does in that Tigger outfit that he had.
Oh, I hope he's doing it in blackface.
In blackface in the Tigger outfit.
Yes.
That's his best look.
or when he was like dressed like Stalin or whatever. He had some weird Halloween costumes, eh?
Dude,
his dad is.
Say what you will about Justin Trudeau. The dude partied.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went hard. For sure. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, Trudeau's throttling your internet right now. He's got his
remake, and I thought it was a terrific looking cat.
All right.
Okay. Normal evening routine, doing a little bit of work, trying to get ready for the next day. Just not a lot, just a little bit of light reading and some information gathering, if you will, just to get some stuff. So I have a little bit of a head start in the morning when I do my stuff. And I was going through some of the comments on some of the videos today. One of the stories that came out today was they got their lead cast for the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, and I thought it was a terrific looking cast. I mean, they got the kid from the Black Phone, which to me is really quite exciting. They went and got the girl, Nico Parker, I think is her name, from Last of Us, who I think is tremendously gifted.
Prepare to get gaslit.
And I love the episode she was in. I think she's going to be fantastic in this. And I started noticing that there were a bunch of comments on the girl being in it and people complaining that this How to Train Your Dragon thing is already ruined because they.
I mean, having a girl in it is already a step down.
It's true.
So you're working against it, but he gets the quotes up like our boy Hunter does.
Changed Astrid because they changed Astrid. And because they changed Astrid,
oh my God, he's going to
that
keep doing it.
means this thing was a complete disaster. It was ruined. It was destined to fail because they changed Astrid. I thought it was interesting. Because you know full goddamn well that if Astrid's supposed to be 5'3", and they hired a girl who was 5'4.5", that's a significant change, but nobody would have said anything, right? They wouldn't have said a thing.
It's not a significant change, dumbass.
If Astrid is supposed to have hazel brown eyes, but they cast an actress who had walnut brown eyes,
okay,
well, that's
also
a change. But full goddamn well, they wouldn't have complained about it. Wouldn't say.
Sorry, I fucked it up. I'm still like, I had to go off camera, everything, just to like try to get whatever fucking.
Keeps fucking doing this.
It's like they really don't want me to play this.
If Astrid is supposed to have hazel brown eyes, but they cast an actress who had walnut brown eyes, well, that's a change.
So, okay. Will.
So disingenuous.
Will, give me something on this one.
Can you imagine how fucking gay this dude must have looked like? With his fucking selfie stick walking around his pool.
Like ranting to his camera.
Like,
there can't be someone filming him, because anyone else would say, what do you like? You cannot compare different colors of brown eyes as a different complete culture when the character has already been existed.
Hold on, I'm going to zoom out for this. My wife says she doesn't love me anymore, that she has a Xanax problem, that I'm a homo. Like, dude, it's so disingenuous. It was like, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal if you casted someone with brown eyes than hazel brown eyes. And I was like, no, but you're talking about like an entirely different culture. Like that's that's like saying, it was like, okay, this character has a dog, but we gave him a cat. It's like I mean, it's maybe not that drastic, but like, and then they're going, well, if you don't like that, you're bigoted. And it's like, no, these are the same people who have the audacity to go that white people have no culture. And it's like, well, no, you're doing our culture right now.
Like, it wouldn't be an issue if they race swapped everybody, but they don't. It only ever goes one way. Okay,
exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
He has like a complete straw man argument because nobody cares about the arguments he's making. It's the arguments that they keep changing it in order to degrade like European history and to make white European people look bad. Like, that's all
they're all colonizers anyway, right?
Here's the question:
it's so annoying.
Who else auditioned for that they didn't take? I'd like to see who those people were.
Taylor Swift?
Or no, show me the casting sheet.
That's what I mean.
I doubt they even looked for people that didn't look like that.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
Show me the casting sheet and show me the reads.
If they went through 40 white chicks with natural blonde hair, and then they came up with this one and said, hey, she was the one that did it the best, she submitted the best video or whatever, I'd be like, okay, cool. But we all know that that's most likely not what happened.
I'm laughing about this. I'm like, Mike, she just does. And not like in a bad way, but she just does look like her. Like, I don't get, like, I hate the race swapping in that because it doesn't make sense. It's like, how do you have someone that looks like Serena Williams and she should be like, I think a quarter black at this point?
And I'll
she doesn't even
admit,
look like her sister. They're not even the same skin tone. That's freaking racist.
I'll fully admit, if you put her in the right costume, you give her the right kind of, makeup, wig, contracts, all this, it might look okay.
But they're not going to do that.
Exactly.
If anything, they're going to make her look blacker. They're going to give her those fucking braids that they give
the acolyte braids.
The acolyte braids, or even worse, the Targaryen braids. give her those blonde dreads. And like, it's just going to be a bad time for everybody. And it like I said, I have
Doesn't
no
have to be.
problem with anybody, I don't have any problem with like where they say like colorless casting or anything like that. But it was
colorblind casting. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But when you do
real.
that, and it isn't. But when you do that, but you try to nail everything else, it draws you out of it because you're like, why was this the one thing you decided to change?
I know, it's like it so takes you out because this was my thing with House of the Dragons. Like I wouldn't care if it was like, everyone changed or something like that, but I actually do care. I mean, I care because instead of being in the story and thinking of these as the characters, all I'm thinking of is the fact that they put these people in these roles because they want you to notice the stuff. So instead of just following the story, all I'm thinking about are the issues that come up with that.
Well, House of the Dragon was even more glaring. So
Yeah,
like all of Game of Thrones, like they had it set up where, like in Westeros, it was all white people. Like when you went beyond the sea, or when you had not Littlefinger, like Grey Worm and everything, they looked like different areas had different races.
Yeah, it's like
sense. And then all of a sudden you get the House of the Dragon, and then it's just all mishmash and flip-flopped, and it's like, well, what happened? Did everybody was different races and all became white people 1,000 years later, or whatever?
Like the Hobbit Holocaust.
Yeah,
yes,
like
the Hobbit cost. Yes,
that would actually. I know they're not going to do that because, of course, they won't. They would rather like change everything else, and leave that in place. But we could do a movie like that. The Hobbit cost. I love that name.
The Hobbit cost is fantastic.
Come down from the hills and massacre the Hobbit. But we would only kill certain colors.
All that has to happen, certain ones of them would just fall slightly behind in their little wagon train, and they just get left.
You just get sacrificed.
Yep.
And we could just say like to certain like ones who look a bit different, just call them over here for a minute. We just want to show you some stuff in these trees.
Yeah. It's your second breakfast right over here. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is going to be so good. You guys like taters?
Yeah. How about Zyklon B?
Yeah. So okay. Let's listen to this moron go on jabber some more.
But full goddamn well, they wouldn't have complained about it. Wouldn't have said a thing. Would have been perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that change. If in the movie, Astrid was supposed to be
right-handed.
Oh my God. I'm glad it's lagging. I can only take this guy in very small doses.
John Campia is literally a buffoon.
He's terrible.
The last time John Campia was watchable was when Disney yanked his access and started going on rants.
It's like, but these guys have been doing this forever. Like him and this Roka dude and Grace Randolph, and they only get to like a certain level, and they only get a certain number of views, and they always say the same stuff, and they don't seem to grow or shrink, and it's odd. The whole thing is just odd because they all give these same arguments.
It's almost like it's scripted for them.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, what's weird is Grace Randolph's channel has been at the same number, roughly, subscribers for like 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Watching Grace Randolph cope with the Acolyte has been some of the best entertainment I've seen in a while, where she's just like, yeah, so the writing's bad, but it's
fine.
Like,
nothing wrong with that change.
Oh, speaking of writings, but I got something good for the end of the show.
If in the movie, Astrid was supposed to be right-handed, and they had the audacity to hire an actress who was right-handed, well, that's a change. It's a change. Goddamn well, they wouldn't have said a thing about it because that's fine. But oh my God, if you get a girl who the pigmentation of her skin tone is a little bit different than Astrid's is, and by the way, Astrid, who comes from a complete mythological fairy tale, non-existent, completely made up in fiction race of people and Vikings that don't really exist.
No, they're Vikings, dickweed.
I know, right? He just said like Vikings too, right?
Yeah,
It's silly.
it was like it's not made up.
What do
like,
they describe him in the book? How do they describe him in the book? The other thing is you have a
Gooch.
show that you have to
Gooch.
that you now have to springboard off of. So people are
Mhm.
gonna always make those comparisons. So I don't know where he's getting this. Oh, like people are upset about the change because it's a major change. It's not left-handed to right-handed,
Yeah.
or their eyes are slightly the different color. It's
Yeah,
a major
and like
change.
let's and get beyond the fact that like okay, beyond the race swaps and stuff, like the story just isn't good. Like it just makes it even worse.
Yeah, this is it, Mike. Hollywood execs, we need some representation. Other Hollywood exec, we could use some African folktales versus like, nah, we'll just race swap. That's 100% what it is, and it's like on purpose to an extent because there's so many cool stories out there, and I just can't wait till we get a North Korean Shaka Zulu. That's gonna be.
I can't wait for a sequel to Coyote.
Don't
Ugly.
they never come on, the race swaps never go that way. Come on.
yeah, no, that if I had money, I would do like alternate race swaps. I would be swapping everybody out. Like
the plot strikes back. So yeah, Mike, it's a struggle, dude. So back here, I am like, turn off the camera. Everything is like swirling. All you guys are swirling, and I'm hoping this Campia video is still playing because I can't see it if it is. So
Nah, it's paused right now.
Yeah,
It's
we
fine.
always
We know what
use
he's going to
his
say.
stupid
He's
dumb
like,
face.
you guys are this and
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. And we're like,
Fuck
just-
off.
Yeah, exactly.
I am this. I don't care. I'll be this.
I don't care. It's like
I notice differences.
I just want yeah. Like I said, I'm fully willing to admit that actress might work if they, wig and this and that and whatever. But just on the face of it, from a repeating pattern that we've seen in the past, we know why they did it, or we suspect why they did it, and they need to prove to us otherwise that is not the case.
who's the kid from E.T.?
Elliot? Henry
yeah,
Elliott.
yeah, the kid who played Elliot.
I believe the actor is referred to exclusively as the kid from ET.
Yes, I believe so too. And actually, when he got older, he was the kid formerly known as the kid from ET. But no, so like just watching different, like behind the scenes and stuff, they showed his casting read, and he's crying and everything, and they stop and they're like, "Kid, you got the job." Show me some of that shit. You know what I mean? Like if they're gonna do that, they're like, "Oh my god, this, she just blew us away." You know what I mean? You're never gonna get that. All they're gonna do is attack you on the front end, going like, "All this racism needs to stop, and we don't understand why." And she was the best person for the job. There's no ulterior motive. And then you're gonna get other people going, "If you don't like this movie, you're racist." Even before it comes out, they're going to go on the attack, and
One of the
that's
things
what
I
they
think
do.
they're going to say is that, well, America Ferrera did the voice of Astrid.
True,
but that's the voice of Astrid. That's not.
She shouldn't be allowed to be the voice of Astrid. That's my understanding. Is they have to fire America Ferrera, correct?
Exactly. Yeah,
Absolutely.
But no, that doesn't work that direction. Besides, it's nonsense anyway. You should be able to voice whoever it is that. If you're good and you sound good or whatever, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
But if you're playing the character, that's a totally different story.
Yeah, no, I hate that too, where they're like, why didn't they get an actual handicap person to play this part? And it was like, because it's called fucking acting. It was like we give an award out for it every single year.
It's so funny that they go so hard on that stuff. They're like, this person isn't like Native American, disabled, and trans, and then you're just like, okay, so if that's your argument, how does race swapping white people work into that? And it doesn't, because it's not about that.
No,
and they know
it doesn't.
that. Like, ugh.
Yeah,
because they're fucking hypocrites.
I'm hiring I need a role, and I need somebody with a really fat gooch that's gonna be
A
on
fat
camera.
gooch?
I wonder if there's
What?
anybody that could possibly be
No
that
fat gooch
role.
here. Mine's ripped. Mine's ripped.
Yes.
You just got it polished.
I have to give the gooch a proper welcome, guys. Speak to the gooch.
And I was thinking of I was looking at something that was like somebody asking me a wedding question for a second, and I just heard gooch, and I was thinking of
Goosebumps
like
thing.
Gnosis, like, oh my god, you guys want to see Rule 34 Daemon Targaryen? And I looked at it, and I'm like, there's a lot of gooch in that.
There's
You're
only one
welcome.
gooch. There's only
You're
one.
welcome.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake breasts. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint, buy an old drop top, find a spot with
I feel welcomed now.
I love it. I love how you go from one to the other, and John Campia looks like he's a little bit aroused at what he saw, but feels bad about it.
Yeah.
How can you not be?
Well,
Coyote Ugly
I can
is
tell
one of
you
the
how
greatest
John
films
Campia
ever
wouldn't
made.
be.
Oh, quality doesn't bother. Yes,
Because he likes men. He is not straight.
He has relationships with women, but sex with men. I bangered the voodoo gods. Yeah, it's a struggle back here, Trip. But I appreciate you hanging out with this bad show. Thank you.
Has anybody commented yet that his hair looks like a fucking Lego piece?
He's got like he's got like definitely like autism eyes looking in the camera right now.
Do you know he goes to the UFC training center?
Get the fuck
What?
out of here. What? Full stop.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm assuming he doesn't do well, but he makes sure to take like pictures or whatever when he's there in Vegas. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It would be hilarious to see that. But he walks with his like he does this show. He's got like a sleeveless shirt, and he's like he keeps talking about the sleeveless shirt and how like he doesn't like to show off.
Okay.
I wish I was. No, I'm glad I'm not making it up. I want to find that someday. There's so much bad stuff that this guy has done.
He
But
seems
here's
like he's a little bit narcissistic.
I think the Plot Strikes Back has it in the chat.
Oh yeah. Yes.
By the way, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
You guys are absolutely
Well,
great.
my time
They're
in
awesome.
prison,
Yes.
my time in prison, that's all we did is grapple each other. So that's that's how I got my gooch all ripped. So
In between Coyote Ugly viewing sessions.
yeah.
Oh, wait, misogyny? How is that misogyny? Women can dance on a bar if they want.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Some of us
I was
like being
nobody-
hoes sometimes.
Nobody forced them to do that. They wouldn't have like a gun to their head or anything.
And if they did, I'm not telling anybody.
We just let it. We gotta let that hoe flag fly sometimes. You just have to do it.
It's okay to have fun.
Preach, sister. Preach.
Yeah.
Sister.
Speaking of sisters,
If the pigmentation of her skin is a little bit darker than what Astrid's is in the cartoon, height, not a problem.
A
Eye
little
color,
bit
not a
darker.
problem. Hand, not a problem.
first of all, hand, eye, and hair all different too.
The shit no one has ever mentioned ever. Not a problem.
But they're all different anyway, because it's all part of that one tab. Her hair color is different because she's not blonde. Like all of it, her eye color is different. It's everything about her is different. There's nothing the same.
Yeah, that's actually a great point.
It's all under a category, dude. But yet, here we go.
Oh, tone of her skin. That's a problem.
Tone of her
This
skin.
movie's doomed because they got an actress,
He just
regardless
loves
of how
flow.
talented or gifted, whose skin color is a little bit darker than the one in cartoon. See, that change, that's too much. And I want to say this. Please get the fuck off my channel.
There you go.
You mouth-breathing, basement-dwelling, cousin humping motherfuckers. Just get off my channel. Don't come to my channel. I am on a person.
He's talking to Sammy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'll see you at the
That's
UFC
unhinged.
gym, okay? And it'll be like, oh, what if I said I was going to punch you in the face and I punched you in the nose? No one had a problem with that.
No, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is boxing and I kicked you.
Yeah.
Foot versus hand. What's the difference? You're the
No one
problem.
has a problem. People are cheering.
Yes. This is a movie. It's not real. Fuck you, John Campia.
Personal mission. I want to purge 30,000 of my subscribers off my channel within the next 48 hours. And I would like them to be because
People
with the number of
Good. Lose money, please.
I think that he was misheard there. I think he was saying I want to be splooged on by 30,000 of my subscribers. I think something like that.
I want to train
It's lost in translation.
Of comments of people saying such idiotic, moronic things. I figure there's got to be at least 30,000 of you knuckle draggers around there. So please just leave my channel. Don't come back. Don't watch my stuff. I want to purge 30,000 things. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
You racist pieces of shit.
Gooch,
I would
that's
love
you.
it if his neighbor came out and was like, "Shut the fuck up, John."
I know that would be so funny. Or like you just have or something.
Like when the lockdowns were happening and there were all those videos going around the world, like Paris, people singing in the streets, and they tried that in New York, and somebody yelled out the window, "Shut!"
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It was awesome. It was
3
like
o'clock in the morning,
New
God.
York. Yeah.
That was almost peak gaslighting. That was too. All that stuff, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, they've all learned from it.
Is this guy Canadian?
No.
Why is he wearing
That means yes.
He's not one of ours.
Yeah, I was just
For
saying.
sure. I
Because,
mean,
like I don't even know this window licker. I've never
He
watched
seems
this
like
channel.
somebody that's like super paranoid. Like he lives in LA or something, and he's super paranoid with getting like popular or something, and he's just like so.
you're trying to avoid it.
I don't know. There's like a lot of like tryhards out there. I guess I don't know.
He's like,
Betas?
that's
You
how
mean-
I'll avoid being famous. I'll have shit
That's-
takes online.
That's a beta.
Yeah, that'll
The
do
first time I encountered Campia was the nerdrotic thing where he says Captain Marvel was played by Annette Bening, which is a little bit of a change.
it. Yes.
Wow.
And then the other
They
one
changed the character a little bit.
yeah, and then also Peter Parker's dick.
Oh yeah, that was
my
it.
God.
Hunting for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Yes.
What is the story of this guy? Like, who is this? Like,
He
what
was in
is
Collider back in the
he's-
day when Collider
Oh.
also sucked, but we didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. Collider had a polyp removed and it was him.
Yeah.
It was him, Christian Harlov, Roxy, and Roka, and they all suck. I mean, Roxy's she's cute, but otherwise, yeah, they were like the and RMB works for this guy, Robert Mark Burnett.
Oh, this is where Christian Harloff worked with this guy?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I messaged you about him.
you did. Yeah, you did.
Wow,
And I mean, whatever.
Roxy
I don't know
Stryer is looking rough.
what
Roxy Stryer from Collider is
Oh.
looking rough.
is it.
Pull it up. Pull it up. You gotta see
I thought you
it.
said Roxy's dryer, and I was looking at Squeaker.
Yeah,
in
I
the
was
chat.
like, is that some kind of euphemism?
yeah.
Jeremy Johns was there too, but left. God, that was such a wild time. Jeremy Johns, I admire in the sense that this dude gives zero effort about anything. Genuinely cracks me up.
He's good though. I like him.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
he's not bad, but zero fucks given. It's
Damn,
great.
Steve.
So all of them were on the show together, like what, pre 2016, something like that.
Well,
Has
I
to
have
have
a
been earlier than that, right? Oh, Zach's got a video.
I think it was later because I've got a video of them breaking down the finale of Game of Thrones and how it's your fault if you don't. It's your fault. I thought Christian Hoff was going to be based there for a second in this video, but no, he's not.
He seems like the oh
no. Does anyone
Damn
else
it,
have the power to
Canada.
drive this thing?
I was gonna say John Campia seems like the guy who would volunteer to be in the middle of the human centipede. Like
Yeah,
Let me back at my show.
Power bottom.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but he would wind up on the end.
yeah, he wanted the middle of the human centipede, but yeah, he ends up at the end. So
Yeah, so I want to go through this, but it does fit with the idea. I did have it ready for tonight, actually, the video of they're talking about the finale because it's so bad. And the more you listen to it, the worse that it gets. And what's funny is the producers are like putting up things in the window saying like stop. We're getting killed in the comments. And they're just still doing their thing.
They're having their Frost moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're having their Frost moment. They all are. They all agree that Yes, it was amazing all the way through, and it's your problem. And if you're not a writer and you don't submit a script and get it approved, you can't critique other people's writing.
Okay.
That'll haunt you.
I remember this video.
I think it almost may have killed the channel, because if you didn't write it, you can't critique it. Let's finish this asshole though first.
And go and find one of your echo chamber websites where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head backs and go, woke, woke. And then you can come on each other's faces and tell each other that come on your face cleanses you of wokeness. Yeah, tell yourselves that. Whatever is going to get you off and make you feel good about yourself.
Like, he did this to himself.
Like, what? Like, it's so tough.
You racist pieces of shit.
Yep.
And go and find one of your echo chamber websites where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head backs and go, woke, woke. And then you can come on each other's faces and tell each other that come on your face cleanses you of wokeness. Yeah, tell yourselves that. Whatever is going to get you off and make you feel good about yourself. Just don't come around here.
See,
nobody complains about the height.
Here's my take on that, John. I think that replacing a white character with a person of color simply because they're white, that's racist.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but I think the funniest thing is this is one of so many examples of the gross insanity that gripped liberal America post George Floyd. Like, there was like a 2-month period there where everybody lost their shit.
Oh, yeah.
John Campia drank all the Kool-Aid in the fucking camp and made this video.
And the cum.
By the way, you definitely need to clip him air jerking off, going, whoa, whoa.
Oh, he has. He
clip
has.
him. Oh, come on. Sammy. You disappoint me. You think I don't know?
Where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head backs and go, woke, 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 woke. And then you can come on each other's faces and tell each other that come on your face cleanses you of wokeness. Whatever is going to get you off and make you feel good about yourself. Come on your face.
Now you just need to make another channel and have that play 24 hours straight.
That's it.
That's the only thing.
If you break it down CSI style, the sound he makes is interesting. He goes like he's experienced this before.
Yeah, he's expecting.
Yeah, he's done. He's seen things. He's done things.
John Campia has definitely seen one up close.
Geisha vu, if you will.
He's an anticipator. Yeah.
Oh, look, everyone there's so many members of the channel. It's awesome. But Tim is not a member. Tim's talk.
Well, after Squeaka bought memberships for the entire damn building, like you got.
Damn, Squeaka.
What's weird about that is I get people who are members from that who I've never seen. I don't know who these people are, but
Hugh Jackman.
I can't complain.
Nobody complains about the physical differences between
Hugh Jackman. He says nobody complained when he was cast as Wolverine.
Well, who else had played him before then?
But also a ton of people complained.
Yes, they fucking complained.
Yep.
I complained. A little bit.
Too tall.
Too tall, too thin, too.
Yeah, where's the freaking like?
He's a baby boy back then. He's like Aemond.
Yeah, he wasn't even like in the first movie. He wasn't even well built.
No,
like,
they hadn't got him on that MCU juice yet.
Yeah.
Oh, get him on that. He was by like I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was I think the first time travel one. He was like absolutely jacked. That's the best Hugh Jackman.
The one with
at least
Future Past.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, by the Wolverine, he was totally jacked.
Gooch would know. Where was he the most jacked? Gooch.
Most jacked?
I would say the Wolverine.
Yeah, the Wolverine was probably
Wolverine. He's pretty ripped, but to me, it's just I don't know. I liked him as Wolverine, but I didn't like his physical attributes as Wolverine, if that makes sense. Like I liked how he acted as Wolverine, but I don't like how he looked as Wolverine.
Yeah, he had good mannerisms and everything, but he still just isn't Wolverine.
Yeah,
physically.
Like Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Like that's right up his alley. Like that's Ryan Reynolds 24/7, right? So that made sense. But Hugh Jackman as Wolverine never. Like Wolverine is like, I think he's like 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah, he's 5'3".
Yeah, he's not a big guy. Like,
no, they originally wanted to cast Danny DeVito when they were doing the early '90s. They wanted Danny DeVito.
Shit, that would have been fucking electric.
The dude can't even walk right.
Yeah, that's not Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a treasure trail, and that's about it. That's all that he's got as Wolverine.
I like how that was like physically jacked at the time. Like that's what
It was though. It was.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. Before the MCU changed the landscape, you know.
Well, I mean, you had guys like Arnie and Stallone and Dolph Lundgren, but those guys were like freaks of nature. Like
they were freaks.
There was also more 80s. Wasn't this early 2000s?
Yeah.
I feel like we had a solid decade of NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Twinkism that happened.
Also,
in,
starting in the early 90s is when restaurants started giving you like 4 times the portions you got in the 80s. And
really?
Yeah, everything started bulking up. Oh, I remember the day I walked into a restaurant. I was living in Tucson, and I ordered a meal, and it came with mashed potatoes, and there was enough mashed potatoes on that plate for like 4 people. And it was the first time I ever experienced it. I was like, what's this? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to make sure you get your value.
Yeah.
And everybody was taking home doggy bags and stuff. When I was a kid and younger, you never took stuff home from a restaurant. You ate everything on your plate and you left because there wasn't that much on it.
Oh, is that why I think the economy is bad? Because like I just only knew that part in my life. And like now everything's reverting back to that.
Is the internet, you know, got invented by Al Gore in 1992.
That's right.
Oh yes,
or Kim Jong Un, whoever you believe. But oh wait, Kim Jong Un is just a master of the internet. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought it was a collab.
Yeah, but anyway, it's so everyone started getting more sedentary because there was computer games and the internet and all these other things, and work started getting that way too with email.
Yeah.
I remember work before email. If you wanted to talk, somebody wanted to talk to you, they called you up or they came and found you.
Yep.
And,
True.
Yeah. Now they just shoot you an email and expect you to respond right away. It was, so it's all different. Anyway, so this is why people weren't jacked anymore. Look at old pictures of people on the beach from like the 70s and see how many fat people you see, or people that are out of shape. There are people
it's
that
crazy. I really noticed that moving in the Midwest. It's like, I don't know. It hits different out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did complain about Heath. Yeah, you're right, Tim. People complain about Heath Ledger, and they say that too. That's another Campia thing. I said, well, no one complained. No, they did. We absolutely complained.
People complained
about
wrong. People were writing death threats to Michael Keaton back in '89.
Yes, exactly. They were mailing them to him.
Yeah, fan mail was a thing, and so was hate mail.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you wanted to find out who was the director of some movie or something, you had to go get a trades magazine. It wasn't.
Yeah,
nobody knew. I watched so many movies I didn't know who the hell was the director until the movie started. And even then, there was no way to find out all the backstory and all the drama unless you really, really, really wanted to dive into it.
Oh,
Most
people
of the time you just watched a movie and just moved on.
Another one too. People complained about Halle Berry. They didn't think she was black enough.
First place.
I mean, she's black enough.
Yeah.
Don't want to go too.
No.
Yeah, in all the right places.
I think the only person who didn't get complained about was Wesley Snipes.
Oh, he rules. Hey,
dude, I would cast Wesley Snipes as Blade right now.
I agree.
Yep. Yes.
Oh yeah, do him.
Did you
100%?
Did you guys hear that story? What's going on with Blade right now because it got delayed again?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
So one of the writers originally they were going, okay, so we're gonna introduce this female character and she's gonna give Blade life lessons, and all these people are going like, I don't want to do that. And the guy started freaking out. He goes, fine, you know what? We'll just have him fight vampires then. It was like, yeah, that's what we want, Dick.
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
Like, what are you talking? Yeah, you know, in your little temper tantrum. Yeah, that's what we want.
Imagine this. I got a new idea for the follow-up to Aliens Covenant. We're gonna have actual aliens in it. Xenomorphs.
I to this day crack up at the thought of like Jon Favreau or Kevin Feige bringing down like these teams of writers to write this Blade show, and they just stare at this blackboard, and all that's written on it is "cool black guy kills vampires," and they just stare at it for an hour, and then just go, "There's nothing here.
I don't
we
get it.
can't we can't make this work."
Yeah.
How do you not make that show? Oh, I know how they'll make it not cool. Okay, I'm not even gonna say that, but how do you take a story like that and be like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you have to have an overall plot of like what's happening, and he's got to come save the day or whatever. And
Gooch.
And then you have
there's stories already there. There's stories already there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't
I was
want
gonna say,
to
I
use the comics. You have it there. It's the same thing with X-Men 97. They told Bo. He told us this, that he did not want him being influenced by the comics or reference the comics. They didn't even want him talking to Claremont. Like why? Why do you not want that? Same thing with look at She-Hulk. All those friggin' mongoloids got together. They had no idea what they were supposed to write, and they said, "Well, you're going to write She-Hulk, and you can't use the comics, so just go to town." So you're doing this slice of life garbage. I mean, everything's laid out for you. Like, you don't have to do it exactly, but it's right there. I don't understand it.
What did they do? What was that cartoon that just came out? It was like for the Daily Wire, and everyone's been ripping on it because it's like white Adam Carolla, and they're like, this is right wing. They can't write comedy, and this is what happens. It was like, guys, you're on the other side of the coin, so while you're laughing at it, you look just as foolish. Like it just pushing your narrative. Just stick to the source material, the reason that everyone's excited about these movies to begin with, and you'll be fine. You will make money. I don't understand why they're allergic to money.
Anyone in the chat, did you watch this show? Do you know what these are from? Let me know. Anyone who's seen this.
Was it like a TV show or something?
It sure was. Blade the series.
Yes.
When did this?
2006.
I was
wow
busy working.
Starring Sticky Fingers, the rapper.
Sticky Fingers.
Sticky Fingers.
He's not bad. He's better than what we get now.
What I find amazing about this is you could release this right now and it would immediately be the most watched thing on Disney Plus.
I know, right?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Hot chick, like badass dude.
Come on now.
Guys.
Yeah.
The acting is right up there, like Xena, the Princess Warrior. It's like that good.
I mean, I'll take it over what we have now. Are you crazy?
Yeah, that show wasn't actually half bad at first.
No. I also like how people talk about how you need a plot in the Blade movie, as though we didn't watch the first Blade movie where it was just Wesley Snipes trying to kill Deacon Frost's frosted tips. Like,
yes,
I missed that.
But Deacon Frost, now that's how you do a villain. That dude was pimp. He had rubber duckies in a pool in a penthouse.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he was, granted, he was a little emo, but what do you want? He's a vampire, right?
The blood rape to this day is still commented. It's like one of the best openings in a movie.
It was awesome. Josh must have seen TV for Guys. Yes, TV. It was Spike had TV for Guys, and they had movies for guys who like movies. That was like the Spike.
Yeah, I remember all that.
That was the UFC days.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, you know how I knew that the original Blade movie was going to be good? I knew it was going to be a good movie in the first 10 minutes. When they started the blood rave and they're like, oh, it's the Daywalker, and he spiked that dude's head to the ceiling with his spike, I knew it was going to be a good movie from then on. That's how I knew. That was the metric. If you spike a dude's head to the ceiling with a spike,
that'll do it.
It's gonna be a good movie. If they go hard like that, yep.
And by the way, they made changes. They made drastic changes to the character for Blade. He wasn't a Daywalker until the movie. He was just some dude who fought vampires. He wasn't half vampire until the movie came out.
I check with Gooch on all canon stuff.
I can't remember, but I think Sam's right. I think he wasn't half vampire.
No, he wasn't. They introduced stuff like that, and they were like, "Oh, well, that'll make it cooler. It'll make sense why he can go toe to toe with these vampires. That's a great change. That's good writing. You know what I mean? Where it was like, it was so much so that Marvel Comics was like, oh, we're gonna adopt that.
Well, it gave him a weakness. He had to take the serum. It gave him a impending doom. Like, he's powerful, right? But what he's sacrificing for that is eventually he's like it's gonna run out, and the thirst will overtake him, and he'll become the thing that he hates. It's great writing.
Yes.
Whistler was great. Why they brought him back in the next one, I don't know. They should have let him die. He had a good death, and he was a great character. I didn't like the second one
in that movie. No, this well, I like the second one compared to the third one.
I did not like the second one. The villain's mouth opened weird, and he hiding in a sewer. Compared to Deacon Frost, that guy was dirty. And then they had like light going around corners and stuff, like all the way down the hallway, and that was gonna, I don't know. It was very comic booky to me.
So I think that movie came out
as opposed to the Blood Rave, which was grounded and deeply focused on reality.
All it was just water coming out of, like blood coming out of a spigot or something. What I'm talking about is they had like giant hammers and all this other stuff.
Some of us have giant hammers.
That sounds fucking awesome.
I did not care for
I like the second one. The third one had Triple H in it and Jessica Biel.
Yeah, it had
Jessica Biel crushed it in that one.
Yeah. But the first one's the best. It was very cyberpunky almost, like how it was.
I seriously don't remember these movies, but I know that I saw them in the theater.
You got to go back and watch Blade.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and me and my mom used to see like everything and really like vampires, and I kind of remember the first one.
The style in it is good. I mean, like the clothes that they wear, it was just.
He's pretty.
Super, there are people getting glyph tattoos on their necks in real life.
1998. I think I was like in 4th or 5th grade. So I remember seeing this at like a buddy's house, and the part that scared the shit out of me is when they had like the actual zombie who was like the doctor who got bit in the very beginning.
Oh, he's
and it was like they're like sometimes they become vampires and sometimes they become like one of these things. And I did not like that part at all. But it was one of those things where it didn't take me out of the film or whatever. It was like, it was a part that scared me. And I was like, I like horror movies and stuff like that. I liked that feeling of being scared. It was like, I haven't seen a movie that would have get a reaction out of me like this in the last, I don't know, 7-8 years. I mean, at least not anything like comic book violence.
Plus this music, the sound.
Whole
thing is pretty good.
I love it.
Wreck the Discotheque. Yeah, I went out and bought the soundtrack.
This guy was in Shield. The guy who dies here, and the chick was Tracy Lords.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh,
don't ask me how I knew.
A lot of people say this is the best Marvel movie.
I think it's up there. It's really up there.
What do you think, Gooch?
I like this movie. I really, really liked it.
Yeah. Where does it sit? Like, don't give me a rating. You have to do that, but like,
I would say it's Iron Man is number 1.
Yeah,
like Iron Man was so good.
Yeah,
and Blade is one of those characters. It's just like Guardians of the Galaxy. They weren't uber popular comics.
No, not at all. I didn't even know it was an MCU thing. I thought it was just a movie.
Neither did I. I didn't think
I thought it was
like
just
this
is a new character they made, and then.
Well, it wasn't an MCU
thing. It's a comic book. Well, Marvel.
I think Sammy's right. Like Blade wasn't born a vampire or half vampire, but I think Blade had some like abilities. Like I think he was immune to being turned into a vampire or something.
No,
like
that. He was immune to vampire bites.
Yeah,
that was his only.
Okay,
I
guess
that makes sense.
And he was always like a background character.
Like, yeah, but I'm saying, can you imagine if they did like a Midnight Suns movie in the Veil of this?
You're saying he was a background character to who? Like whose comics were
Like he would do stuff with Morbius
sorts
and
of
Ghost
people.
Rider and
Okay.
Spider-Man.
He was
All
never a lead.
yeah. He was kind of like a John Constantine character.
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's not true because he had
No.
the Hellblazer comics.
Right.
But he
Wesley
would show
Snipes
up in other
crushed
people's
this
comics.
role. He crushed it.
Oh my god, when he's crawling on the floor and all you see is his boots coming up, I think that's such a great shot. And then they all just spread.
It's the opening kills it, and you could watch the opening over and over again. But this is a slam dunk to remake this if you want to, or don't remake it. But you do a Blade movie, but with Mahershala Ali, let him be Blade, or bring back like he really could probably use the money, and he's fucking awesome. So give me Wesley Snipes. He is a guy who he's in so many great 90s, or I don't know if they're great, but like he was fantastic in some of these roles, and his charisma is like unmistakable. Like if you look at him from Demolition Man
is one of my
fucking
favorite
hilarious
movies. But here we're talking about those different castings.
Yeah.
You look at Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man. If they would made like a Batman movie in the mid 90s and said Wesley Snipes is going to play the Joker, I would have been thrilled.
Yeah.
Like what
cool.
he brought to
I would see him more as a Zaz.
Oh, but I'm saying the energy that he brought to that character in Demolition Man. What is it? Something Phoenix. I'm just saying it doesn't always have to be bad casting just because of the race thing. It's just like you're not there. That's not the reason that they're doing the casting. So
I'll go a step further and say white people love cool black people.
Yeah.
Like it's their favorite thing. And literally all you have to do is cast a cool black dude and not a black theater kid like Amanda Stenberg, and all of these problems are gone. Like just, it's bizarre. And I understand it. In fact, it may be to an extent Wesley Snipes' fault that he was just such a miserable pain in the ass to work with that he just kind of ruined it for a whole bunch of people. But it's a bummer.
So Josh, the original origin was that he was the son of Deacon Frost, and that made him half vampire. They called it a Dampier.
Interesting.
I trust Josh.
Yeah,
I read the wiki. He's right.
Dampire.
Okay.
Is it a Dampire or a Dampier?
People loved Black Nick Fury because he was a fantastic Nick Fury, and they didn't cast him. They cast him because he's Samuel L. Jackson, and he was like huge at the time, and he's still awesome today. Not because he was black. We need to find a black guy who's free, and that's the issue with the writing rooms now too in these productions where there aren't enough. Like if you want to do math, the percentage of Black Americans is what? And I'm Canada, so math is different here. We do kilometers, but it's like what 13%. So we'll say if we do average half of that, so 6-7% of Black Americans are above average intelligence. How many of them are able to actually write a script? We'll say 1%. And then how many of those choose to write a script? So it's a very small pool to draw upon for a giant population to find people who A, can, and B, want to work for Marvel and write superhero movies. And so you really kill yourself when we need a room full of these people, and it's a setup for everyone to fail. The movie fails, they fail because the movie's no good because they're writing a story and they don't know how to write a story, and that's not their fault. They were given a job because an exec said, "Hey, do you have any other black friends?" And they bring them into the office, and they're writing a Marvel movie, and it sucks ass. And then you got The Acolyte where she wants to bang, Alyssa wants to bang the lead chick, and so she lets her do whatever she wants in the show, and that's my
well, I think
super
it
racist
stems from the reasoning behind why they cast who they cast, and it's like, okay, this is legitimately a good actor, and this is people race swapping and recasting things because they want to make a political statement, and that puts the actor at sort of a disadvantage. Plus, just makes it's are you writing a story or are you care more about your message? Is it for propaganda or story? I don't know.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Right? Would you be okay with Idris Elba doing Blade?
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Blade?
Hell yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind if he was Dracula.
Oh, I'd be fine with that too.
Like a
yeah,
proto Dracula or something like that. But yeah, I could see him playing both. Of course, it's Idris Elba. He could. There's a lot of stuff that we'd like to see him in, probably. You know?
I'm actually gonna push back on this.
Good.
Yeah,
Idris Elba is 51. We need younger actors in superhero movies. This is a young man's game, and Idris Elba should be doing, like, I don't want to call them serious movies, but highbrow movies. We should be letting young people who are cheap cut their teeth and establish themselves on superhero movies.
I get it.
I think that sounds great. I would love that. But the youth that we have out there are all drinking the Kool-Aid and have one mindset, and that is to send a message to people and not portray the character. They want to put themselves into these characters and send messages instead of, servicing the character. So
agreed. But as part of that, do you think because they didn't come to this job because they wanted to write stories about characters? They came to this job because someone said, hey, you can come have a job and be an activist. Like, what's in it for them is not the money or the work. They don't want that. It's
they're all like
what can I
that.
use this for?
They're all like that.
Yeah. But I think ironically, to an extent, if you look at the guys that got successful off of the MCU, your Chris Pratt, your Chris Hemsworth, there's a couple others. I mean, I'll even throw Channing Tatum into that, though he's not an MCU guy. The guys that have become successful are the ones that aren't activists. They're regular dudes. And I think there's a dearth of regular dudes in Hollywood, from acting to directing to writing. So I think if you were casting something like this, ideally you need regular dudes. You don't need Idris Elba, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So name a young black
That's true.
man that would do Blade then.
That's, I guess, my biggest issue with it is we haven't recruited, we haven't developed them in any way that I guess as far as needing named actors, I mean, we pulled Chris Pratt from a strip club in Hawaii. We pulled Channing Tatum from a strip club in, I think, Wyoming. Like, we're, a lot of these guys don't have to be established actors who have done 2 or 3 gay-ass independent films about how white people suck to be, capable of stepping into these roles. And in fact, I think again, I'll use Amanda Stenberg as an example. Seeing that sort of experience, I think, actually hurts them because it poisons the well for future projects.
And does her no favors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What was the name of the chick who was in Kenobi? I don't remember anymore. I don't know what she could be doing after that. But
you're talking about the one that played Reva?
Yeah, they put her up as a shield. She got beat up for a bit, allegedly, and then they discard her. It doesn't help anyone.
No,
exactly.
I feel like
That's how dirty the business is, though.
Yeah, I feel like there probably is a lot of people with actual talents, but the people aren't getting hired because they're not hiring people because they're talented. They're hiring because they check boxes and they'll say the right things and they
know somebody or they went
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen people get hired. Like, you just don't talk about certain things when you're working on a set because they don't, you won't ever work again, and it's not a joke.
Yeah, you have people like Cat Williams that comes out and says, "I'm not sucking some guy's dick to get a role.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I'm not lowering myself to that."
Yep.
And then hints at all these other guys did that. And so that's the mindset you have to have to get these roles. Is I'm going to go in there, I'm going to tickle this guy's balls and guzzle whatever he's going to give me, and I'm going to get this role and become part of the hive. I'm going to be a bee working into this, propaganda bullshit. So I mean, again, there's no young actors out there, and if there is, it's very rare, and they don't want to do they don't want to go near Marvel because it's Disney. They don't want to go near DC films because it's DC. The writing's on the wall because it's all garbage.
I'm kind of surprised that like they're still doing all that stuff. It's like I know the movie pipeline is like 3 years behind or so, but like how they keep doing it?
Yeah, Jay Goodwin in the comments makes an excellent point. It's one of those things that you talk about how do they keep doing it, Lady B? I don't know how Disney Plus continues to justify making new shitty Star Wars shows. Like, at some point, isn't it more profitable for Disney Plus to just stop spending?
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be at the break point.
Just
now.
stop spending money at all, and just live off of the old content that everybody's watching. I saw a stream today. I think it was Side Scrollers maybe, where they showed like who was looking at what, how many hours they were looking at and stuff, and every show on there except The Acolyte was an older show. Some of them weren't even production, have been in production for 10 years. The top 10 on Disney Plus were everything but The Acolyte. The Acolyte was like in the middle, and but it was like Bluey, Criminal Minds.
Oh yeah, you can pull up the Nielsen every week and you can see it.
It was crazy. It's nothing new. Nothing new is getting watched. People are watching Friends and
or like if there's a lot of like repeat stuff. Like we had me and Will were in like Toronto, and we're like it was like some like 15th trillion iteration of like Law and Order or something, but it was like Toronto, and we're like, is this real? And it was.
Right. Yeah, and it's all stuff that's all been done again or whatever.
What the hell is that? That looks like some fan bullshit. What is that?
It's DraftKings is what I see in the back. So
yeah, it's AEW, so it's got to be wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Wrestling.
I forget. Is Gooch a wrestling guy?
Yo, if that's wrestling, I'll give it to them because it's theatrical. It's good. Wrestling knows how to put on a show. They know their audience and they deliver. I was thinking it was like some Disney abomination, but I'll give it to that.
They didn't before the Attitude era. They lost their audience during the Attitude era, and then they found it in the 2000s again. Wrestling's been up and down. They've gone through their struggles. AEW was pushing back on WWE with the wrestling was like way better than WWE was putting out, and the storylines were better. Very simple. And then WWE, when Triple H took over, brought back old school storylines, wrestling.
I didn't realize there was
way better
storylines. I knew there was like sort of like theatrics stuff. But...
Oh yeah, storylines go a year long.
Wow, but that's crazy.
AEW does
awesome,
better because they have Prince Nana, who is like unironically awesome, and he's AJ's dad, possibly.
Oh, I see it.
Here you go.
There is the challenger, Swerve Strickland.
There you go. Here's a black man. He could be.
I was going to say. I mean, you joke about this.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking about this. He's got a ton of charisma. This guy.
Well, I mean, we've actually seen wrestlers have decent success going. Yeah, and I would argue The Rock is the worst actor of the ones who've made that jump.
Who are the other ones?
I like that guy dancing behind him.
This just proves that everybody needs a hype man.
Yeah.
Those are my moves. Those are my moves. What the hell?
Zach should hire that guy at the beginning of the show to come out next to him.
Prince. So the story here too is that Swerve didn't know he was going to start doing this dancing stuff. No idea. So it just took off on its own. It got over, became like a meme and went viral, but he didn't know. So he's this like straight edge guy, and this dude is just giving her beside him.
That's how you got the embassy alongside Prince Nana. Now
bestowed onto Swerve Strickland and fans.
I like that guy dancing.
Before we dive into the action of our main
Look at all the white guys.
is official partner of AEW right now. Everyone can join a free-to-play poll for the pay-per-view main event.
He's the current champion. So black guy charisma, they do exist. It's just like who can act it. But yeah, a lot of I think of stuff is like segmented. So part of it maybe is that we don't like if you go to like I don't know CW or whatever, they have like a show that is just for black people with black people, and so we don't know. And there could be white actors that maybe no one else has heard of or seen, and they don't give them a chance, and they recycle all the same people.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be the best way to do it would be to get a new unknown actor and put them in it and cast them correctly, make sure that they can act and stuff. But you get like someone that you've never seen before, and then it shoots them to stardom.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm actually I might even push back on that. Are we all going to pretend that Vin Diesel can act?
No,
no.
Like, like Vin Diesel has made a 13 movie franchise of just walking in stoically like a badass wrestler, dropping one-liners and then walking out. I mean, family. Like you could absolutely take one of these guys right out of wrestling and make a dope Blade show. We don't need to be wasting Marshala Ali's elite acting chops on freaking Blade. Like, do better things.
Saying black people don't have charisma. That's not what we're saying, Bagface.
Oh, who said that? No.
That's what Bagface thinks what we're saying.
No, dude, not at all. No, I just think it's we're getting it. We get the same black actors getting all these same roles. Same thing with Pedro Pascal. Like, I mean, we're not saying
fuck that, dude.
So give some other people we've never seen before an opportunity in the spotlight instead of, or people like who you could see who have some talent instead of, who will get down for Leslie Headland. That's all.
Yeah.
Dude,
Leslie Headland,
look at the entertainment industry in the States. It's overrepresented because like Black America has tons of fucking talent and charisma in every single way. It's just they're getting set up to fail in some of these roles, in my opinion, as a Canadian, which also you are.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think they should bring in somebody new. And Will has a point. A lot of these quote unquote really good actors are getting up there in age. So it starts to become unbelievable unless they're going to play an older version of the character, like, old man Logan, old man, whatever. And that's going to be the only stories you're going to have left because they've aged out of the parts. You got to get somebody who is the new possibly Captain America guy. I saw a picture.
Sam Wilson is the Falcon guy. Oh,
this was like for a whole different show. It was like a white blonde guy that was super young. He was like 19 or 20.
Oh, that's Bridges' kid, Jeff Bridges' kid.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it
Wyatt Russell.
Oh, Wyatt Russell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other
for Captain America.
Kurt Russell's kid, not Jeff Bridges. Sorry.
No.
Right.
This is for something totally different. Like, I wish I could remember what it was for, but it's like a new show they're gonna do or something. They're talking about doing.
This kid talking about the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, maybe that's it. This guy's really young. He's like 19, 20, something like that.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Wyatt Russell's kid, who was not Homelander. What is the Iron Patriot?
Yeah, that's what it was.
The guy who was objectively the good guy in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell.
No.
Yeah.
That guy, he's like in his 30s or something.
Okay. You're talking about somebody else.
I'm talking like a totally different guy. He's got straighter blonde hair, by the way. Real young looking kid. He was the picture next to him was
easy. Careful.
Joshua McDonald is saying Kit Connor is hulking.
Okay.
Maybe that was it. Yes,
well,
that was it. Kit Connor.
The other one that blows my mind is like, hey guys, if you cast some younger actors, you don't have to pay them $30 million, and maybe we can get some of these goddamn budgets down, and somebody will make some fucking money in this industry.
Right.
Yeah. And also they can stick around for a while, you know, and you don't have to worry about recasting in 5-6 years because they've outgrown the role. You can have them actually grow into the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, Kit Connor, he's I mean, the only downside is that he's British, but other than that,
they're all British.
Age 20.
Yeah, actually, Lady B also makes an excellent point in the chat.
Always. Yeah, that's a
We
good
need
point.
to just stop. Like, you know, when you I don't know, this is weird. It's like you look at superhero movies and they haven't followed like the trajectory arc where you go into like postmodernism and nihilism and stuff like that. It's just gone straight to like generic, boring crap. The CG is awful. The storylines are awful. Nobody cares. They're losing money. Like, just let the genre be for like 5 to 10 years and then come back. Like, this just happens with everything. I mean, Westerns were like that, and like,
What's the lowest budget movie that has come out recently that was good? Besides, I mean, obviously Godzilla -1 is on everybody's plate, but is there another movie that was not super expensive that came out that was really good?
Probably horror or something.
The
Yeah, I was
devil,
gonna say
the
late
late
night with the
late
devil.
night with the devil. Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm gonna flip that around on you. What was the last high budget movie that was good?
I don't know.
Well, okay.
When was the last movie that we saw that was good, babe? Like, what was good?
Yeah, that's a better question.
the
We've talked about
Hitman.
movies a lot, and it's like we haven't seen anything good. That was
So
weird.
the Hitman on Netflix, I enjoyed. That couldn't have cost anything.
Someone just
to
told me
make.
it was pretty good.
The Hitman?
Okay, Dune.
Oppenheimer. There you go. That is a good one.
Dune. I agree with that.
Dune was okay.
Yeah, it didn't suck. Maybe what's it called? Maverick. Even though I had significant problems with like some of the stuff the airplane did or whatever,
What is that one called? Maybe
Yeah.
the guy, Swedish guy thing.
Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. The what about the 900 different here's a musician, we're going to give you their biopic. We're going to make it for $30 million, make 300 and call it a day.
Bob Marley.
I think that's the most recent one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Worst accent, like so bad.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, Josh, I'm gonna check with this Kit Connor guy because I was watching your show last night. You showed him and talked about the Hulkling, but then I just Googled him. And I just get this. This does not look like the same guy. So I'll take a look at is it the Hulkling? I don't know. I must have the wrong Kit. Like Hulkling.
So that's him, but in the photo for the Hulkling, they had him like obviously they like dyed his hair, and it was like shots to like boost the show or get the concept for it.
Okay.
So this is just him, wearing like a corduroy jacket, looking like he's from London, not actually done up or anything to make him kind of look more like the part.
Yeah, man, come on. You're on the runway. You're going to wear those busted ass shoes.
Hey, but that means he's maybe a down to earth dude.
All right.
No, this is British style where we spend tens of thousands of dollars to dress like we spent $20.
Yeah, see, here we go. He's starting to look a little more. You could see him as Captain America looking like that.
Yeah, you could see it. Well, it looks like they stuck his head on Chris Evans' body there a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, he got that Marvel juice and just turned.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why Josh has all these pictures.
I got you, Josh.
Yeah, Josh. Guy's wearing sweatpants. Low hanging sweatpants.
Pubes. One thing too that AJ, I make fun of him about all the time, but it is legitimate that when they do seem to bring in a black actor to play a black American character, they come from Britain.
Yeah, why are they always British? That's
because
really
they're talented is why. They've gone to acting school.
That's
I didn't
a
say it.
huge
I
part.
think that's kind of it.
Yeah.
The American acting academies, much like American soccer academies and all sorts of American academies, suck at developing talent, and this is not really what they look to do. Whereas the UK still has some of the traditional acting academies that people go to.
Plus, their public schools and whatever are better, so they actually learn something.
I guess.
Yeah, like we're countries exist and where they're at on the map, that kind of thing.
You said that.
What?
I'm not going to insult my American friends.
Oh
no, he's right.
I actually also think there's a portion of it that a lot of the lefty Hollywood producer types are actually genuinely scared of American black people.
I think that's true.
And so, having the kind of softer British accent and the sort of differently, more effeminately dressed style makes the Hollywood casting producer types more comfortable, and it leads them to preferring the British types, which almost sort of goes back to my point about, the need to cast normal dudes and the need to cast cool black people rather than black theater kids. I think all of that plays a part in it.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Or like, I think there's something too with like the cultural thing, because it's like, they do their like lefty thing of pretending like they care about like people of color, and it's different to have like somebody from the UK versus America, where like the American might actually say something about it, and then that would be an issue. Like I've noticed that with things like they don't seem to be quite as outspoken with that kind of stuff, but.
Yep, that's also probably an excellent point.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and find that little clip, and I think we should probably start wrapping up now. It's been over 2.5 hours. Thanks you guys for hanging out.
Yeah, fun times.
We did not talk about dragons very long, but we did talk about dudes with.
I'm laughing at Boosh.
Dragons are cool, but it's like I don't know.
Well, did you watch the last episode of House of the Dragon, Zach? There wasn't a lot to talk about.
Well, I could talk about it for a long time because there's so many different kinds and different books and games.
Okay, here's a question: Where the fuck
Jay.
is Maelor and Caesarion? Okay, how do they just not even like remember that there's this third son and he has this badass dragon that's cool as shit, is really pretty, is like blue and like copper.
I don't know. They ran out of money. They were like, "That's one too many."
Who's this guy? Like he does some shit at the end that's really important.
What about Nettles?
Yeah, Nettles. I don't know. I think it's too early. Yeah, why are they introducing all these dragons?
I've heard so many rumors that Nettles is not going to be in the show.
Oh.
That's
like,
no Nettle. There's no Nettles.
I have the
Let's make
reason
it
that
fun.
everybody's watching and that everything, and that is Aemond Targaryen's chin.
Oh yeah,
that is my.
Lena has a hell of a chin too.
Movie.
So does Alex. Alice, sorry, has like a decent chin too. They all do.
He does. He could be like a young Henry VIII, and if people don't know like what he looked like, he was a hottie.
Oh, when he was
like,
younger,
yeah, he was
back
like,
when he had a 32-inch waist.
Yeah. What? Then he got hurt in like a riding accident, right?
Yeah, but they know he had a 32-inch waist because they've got armor that was made for him, so that's how they know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So these are the people at Collider back in the day when they still had jobs at
back
Collider.
in the day? Who's that? What's her name?
Roxy.
Yeah.
And Christian and Dude, who I don't know. But yeah, you're right. They don't have strong black men in Hollywood. That's the thing where they UK theater. They
I know
really
there's
push
like
that.
there's only so many things that they'll let them do, but
We did not talk about dragons a little bit very much, but anyway.
Hey, Drip, you know that's only a sweepstakes. You can't actually buy that controller. You have to win.
What?
There's a controller.
Oh.
A Deadpool can actually. It's not just a controller. It's a complete Xbox. It comes with swords and a skin on the outside of it, and then the controllers. But the controllers on the back, they're kind of like where you hold on to, or like its legs, and the back has kind of got like a fat booty on it.
Oh, that's funny.
Take a look at the comments, just for a second, and you could get an idea for how well this goes over.
Write your own script is about to haunt these fools for the full mentions for life. Yeah.
Roxy is no longer permitted to not like something again unless she writes a better script.
Yeah. So well, here, let's let them dig a little bit of a hole here. You guys can.
You're
enjoy
far
it.
away. It's his skin.
Whatever.
Don't care.
Oh,
Don't care.
So I'm watching the episode, and I really loved it. And then I checked. The first person's tweet that I checked was Roxy, right? And I see it. Roxy says that is it me or I love this episode.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
that one I saw.
The finale, yeah.
And I was like, well, wait a minute. Why are people not liking this? And I think there are two sides to things. I tweeted something out this morning, and majority of it I believe what I
This is your boy, Gooch.
tweeted out here, and I think that a lot of people are hating this series and show in general right now because it's the popular thing. Very similar to what happens with
It's
all.
cool to hate it.
A lot of times. Now, that being said, I do think that there are a lot of people that shouldn't be discredited, or there are people who just don't like the season and don't like the things that are happening with it. The one thing that has been driving me a little nuts, not critics. I've been reading some critics who haven't liked it, and they've been kind of going on the writing, and these are people who do this for a living and have been really looking to this stuff and analyzing it to back up their claims. I've seen a lot, and
so that peasants, in case you don't understand what he's saying in those words, is critics can criticize things, but you can't.
I hate that. Like, you can't, like what do you do that makes you a critic? Okay,
Yeah,
like, seriously, what makes your opinion so much more valid? Like,
Nothing.
there isn't like a massive amount of information that people can learn and can teach themselves nowadays that makes your opinion more valid than anyone else.
The elite here is
this does kind of rule. This.
Yes, Trippy, like Trip, this is juicy, but like I don't know. There's something weird about that though. Like, what is?
Does it come in sticky mode?
It would not be comfortable to play. Your middle finger would be.
Yeah.
I feel like the ass
Yeah.
needs to be offset
Tickling
a bit
the
so
gooch?
it could like, yeah.
Tickling the gooch.
Yeah, it looks as uncomfortable as the original Xbox controller, and I don't want to go back to that.
All right. On the other hand, can you imagine having started YouTube back in like 2006 and you're just able to just be like, just spout off complete dumbass thoughts and get really popular just because you're the only one doing it? Like,
yeah.
Or how about you could be monetized the minute you made your channel?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
So for these guys, like for me, back in the day, I couldn't. This is a horrible season, and you go online and you're like, this is how you end up finding other people, and eventually you kind of find your people online because. What do you find? Like, how do you? And you go to all of them; they're all saying the same thing. Oh, it's actually really good, and if you don't like it, it's you. You're the problem. And this was sort of already existing before I even knew, really, there was a YouTube community at all.
I'm not saying that people can't say that just seems poorly written. I think a lot of people just this one guy who I saw a tweet, it's just barely written. I'm like, send me your script. Like, send me your script because I can't imagine.
Send me your script.
He's partly retarded, isn't he?
I don't understand.
Maybe not. It might not be
a weird
partly.
track.
You know, I'm
he
going
might be
to
full.
put that out there. I do have, I did just release a live album like a couple months back, and unless you send me a guitar solo, I don't want to hear your opinion on it. So,
unless it's positive.
Yeah, right.
If you love it, then it's fine.
You really think that? You
She's the worst,
saw
though.
other people tweeting it.
I cannot say this enough times when it comes to all fandoms. If you want a different story, write your own. Write your own damn story. This is not our privilege. It's not our entitlement to have it finished the way we would have written it. It's not your story.
Yeah, these
You didn't write it.
Right. And I
And
think
it's
it's
not theirs either.
No, it's not
It's
yours.
not- it's not yours
It's not
either.
yours.
You kind
It-
of go in like these are the same people that'll start bitching and complaining when it's not like when it doesn't have every little thing that they want to see in it. Like it doesn't represent my reality or whatever.
George didn't even write the last season,
Yeah.
right? So like,
No.
it's not even theirs. So like, you're contradicting yourself, you bloody moron.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
And ultimately, like if you're a writer, like who cares what the critics say? Ultimately, it's what the audience thinks. So
Yeah, that may be the most poignant answer of
critics
all.
aren't paying your bills.
Yes, the customer's opinion is the one that matters.
Yeah. Remember, like back in the day when most of the biggest like blockbusters were kind of like critically panned because they were action movies and whatever, and it was very like poo-poo to do stuff like that. I was like, sorry, we didn't have like an interracial couple like making out in our action movie, but there's a lot of explosions, and that's the stuff that people like. You're not appealing to that audience, because yes, they are looking for different things, but this is just condescending, and it's basically gaslighting.
Yeah, it is gaslighting.
It's contradictory. It's like she's saying, go write your own book, and the people that wrote this season didn't write the book.
Yeah,
they didn't even like. Oh God, I hate stupid people.
I love this video though. I think it's this one. The producer comes in and tells him to like shut the fuck up, and then the guy on the right gets in a screaming match with the producer.
Oh, thank God!
I think they
really?
both. Yes, if I remember correctly, I believe they both threatened to fire each other. I think that's
Sorry
this
about that.
video.
My mom keeps coming downstairs and saying, "Are you still on the radio?"
Like Lizzie.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, it is. Let's finish this. We'll finish this off, and then we'll get through. But this is. I want to play this through because first of all, the last guy actually takes it the furthest. Like they're building upon each other, almost like this Harloff guy set her up. And obviously, the ladies in this chat and on the show aside, like there's some cute ladies that really, really don't need to be on the internet. And I don't know. Like she probably got a pass quite a few times because
what you mean, Dax, is they don't need to be talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You could just sit there looking like a hot mime, and then
we're all better off for it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hot mime.
The same thing.
It is. She's got the same shirt. It's perfect. Yep. But look at the anger. Like she's used to being able to rant like this and have dudes say, "Oh, I love you. You're so correct."
So insightful.
Please touch my penis.
To all fandoms, if you want a different story, write your own. Write your own damn story. This is not our privilege. It's not our entitlement to have it finished the way we would have written it. It's not your story.
Yeah,
you didn't write it.
Agree. Right.
And if you don't like it, if you don't like it, don't watch. That is your prerogative. But to say they did it wrong, it's not your story.
So show us better, write it, and then get it to the producers and see if you can get your episode.
Oh, like I could just walk on in?
Right? This fucking guy.
It was like, oh, I didn't like season 8, episode 5. I rewrote it. Please do this. You fucking asshole.
Get it to a producer, get it made?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like going to a restaurant. The food comes out. You're like, man, this is cold and kind of sucks. They're like, well, why don't you go in the kitchen and make it yourself then?
Yeah, right.
No,
okay.
It's your job to make it for me and not be cold and sucky.
Because I would have just stayed home and cooked for my fucking self. And
Sammy's like, we got Game of Thrones at home.
I wrote my own.
Yeah.
Like, so this kind of stuff, this was existing back then, and it's the same people doing the same thing. Harloff has his own channel. Roka usually sits in that chair, used to, when they still had a chair, because they fucked up so badly that they lost their shows.
Like, I don't know. It's like they just don't. Like, I think the expert opinion thing is like, take someone like me. Okay, I didn't end up working in Hollywood because I don't want to work with a whole bunch of sexual harassers and pedos and stuff. I didn't want to be around that toxic energy. But like you're saying, that my opinion doesn't count, even though I did all the same studying, probably more studying than they did. That's so dumb. I hate that shit. Shut up.
I love it. I think it's so good.
I'm having so much fun.
It's a producer.
This guy.
Yeah. The whole show updates on how they're getting killed, but they don't care.
Is this the one where he and the producer get into a screaming match and threaten to fire each other?
No, that is a different one that is also hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah. It is like he's not going to talk he won't cover Disney Star Wars at Star Wars Land or Galaxy, whatever it's called, because they wouldn't invite him to the opening night, and so he won't talk about it on the show. And the producer's like, "No, you'll talk about what we tell you to talk about." And he's like, "I'm also a producer." It's fucking brilliant.
I watched one of his streams.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, I sent you a message. So I watched one of his streams lately, and he's very surface level bullshit. Like he's afraid to dive into the deep waters and actually talk about the content that they're bringing up for that day.
Yeah.
which is, and if people like that, like that's very simple-minded bullshit. Like I'd rather listen to people that actually are willing to talk about objectively about the House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, the Acolyte, actually dive into it and have these friendly debates instead of sitting at a table and agreeing and just reciting the great critic reviews and not actually talk about the content itself. So
I tell you this all the time, Gooch. I think every real good analytical panel has a contrarian on there. There has to be somebody
like Will.
I do that with the Hot D stuff.
He's awesome. I love it.
Doing that since like the season 1, and I'm like, these changes that they're making now are going to have ramifications later, and that's why we ended up with like Rhaenyra and Alicent trying to be friends until like last episode. So
yeah, it's but it's funny, and also a clever one. So not just somebody who comes at it with the average other opposite take. Like someone who's actually seen this, thought it through, and can come at it with an angle that you didn't expect.
Yeah, like I'll ask them questions. I mean, like it's like I always look at it as opportunity cost. It's like they decided to do this tangential thing, like so like that takes away opportunities to do this, and this. That's important. Or like what is the cost of having like characters not have agency? Or the like what happens when we get the contradictory nature of like Rhaenyra needing to be a girl boss but also a victim. Like it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't work.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's wrap this sucker up. Lady B, you are getting wrapped up.
How many days, babe? This many days.
Many days.
It's 9 for me, 10 for you.
Yeah. 10 for me, because in 10 minutes it'll be like.
Oh right.
9.
It's not. So it's not the Canadian to American conversion.
No.
Well, technically he's on Canadian time, so.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm seeing this. Okay. All right. I didn't know who Alex was. I think it's the first time.
Oh well, that's what.
Oh,
he confused
it. That's
Will. I was just like,
he like uses YouTube.
Who's this?
That makes more sense.
Who's this?
No.
In the hotel room with terrible lighting.
No. I was just like, I had never met Alex before, and now it all makes sense. Okay.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, but sometimes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well
we
done.
love it.
Well
I love
done.
you.
Not on the marriage, to being on Zax's channel.
Yeah. And his own channel, the White Cloaks.
Yeah, we're geared up for rewatch season.
What are you guys gonna do?
We're just started. We recorded like the first part of episode 1, and I'm like, we didn't get Kitty on like for this, so like Kitty, like hit us up, like.
Yep.
I don't know, like give me and Alex like 2 weeks, and we'll be more communicative, but. I don't know.
I've seen Kitty rant on her own channel. Everyone she knows this stuff way better than I do. And
I'm like, we need to like, this is some untapped like resource here.
Yeah, we were also talking about doing a ranking the Wheel of Time characters on the hot crazy scale.
Oh yeah, we still have to do.
So needed Trip and Kitty for that for the boys.
Yeah.
Now is that a show only?
No, purely
because that could be a short list.
Books.
All right, so here's White Cloaks here. Go check out these guys. If you're not, I'll get all this stuff added tonight. But if you're not already subscribed, just go go fucking subscribe. Like, you know what? You can subscribe to everyone if you want to. And we won't even tell people. It's not an exclusive club. Click the fucking button, Nos. There. You're back.
Barreling. Yeah,
click the button.
Nos,
we all love you. Shield Wall. You're on every panel.
Yep, and I don't have a channel. That kind of rhymes.
Hold on. Go back. You guys are at 905. White Cloaks.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
You guys are, especially with the rewatch. If like you, hopefully will gain subs. People won't run from you
we usually
doing the rewatch. But
yeah, right. Can you imagine how successful we'd be if we actually made videos?
You guys were the crest of all this. All the Wheel of Times of that was you. You did all of it, and then like they killed your killed your Reddit, and everyone else was like, okay, well, we'll absorb all these people who are mad about this show.
Come on,
right? That's what happened.
A lot of it, yeah.
As a fellow person who never made a video, it's okay. You'll get there.
You don't, Kitty. Kitty just goes off. What am I subbing to? Go subscribe to White Cloaks.
Say hi to Kitty. Say hi, Kitty. Ooh.
And say hi to George.
Hi, Georgie.
Look at George.
Looking at you. He's like, fuck you, Mom. I hate you. Put me down. I'm going to bite you.
Well, don't put me down, because that's a different thing.
No. Okay, you just made it weird, George. Don't do that thing with the ear. He's been kind of a shit today.
Trip is opinionated. All right. So Gooch.
Yes, sir.
You are taking over animated YouTube.
I'm trying to, one day at a time.
Yeah. Fun show last night.
Yes. Fun show tonight.
X-Men 97.
Fun show tomorrow night. Sammy's there.
How many episodes are like? Is this series the Demon Slayer? Am I saying is it Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer. It's 26 episodes.
Where are you at right now?
8 and 9 tomorrow night.
So, like a decent person who cared could easily catch up by now, and then watch along with you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Just check.
That might be my
way that we want to do the episodics is try to almost treat it like a book club, where we'll have people who go along and literally will watch the episodes with us. I mean, you get a week to do it, so
yeah,
it's fun.
Is it worth
I'm not gonna lie. I really like getting the comments of people saying, "I watched this show" or "I watched that," and getting people into animation, because animation's not just for kids. There's some really great stories out there that are animated, and we're kind of reviewing them, diving into them, and people are digging it. So I'm having a blast with it.
Oh, I saw Princess Mononoke for the first time.
Oh my God.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna be reviewing that. We're gonna be reviewing that.
That was so good. I loved it. I want to be a wolf girl and live in the woods.
I'll have to hit you up for that one, Lady B.
Oh hell yeah! Hopefully not in the next week and a half.
No.
Well, I mean, who needs a wedding when you can be talking?
Just the honeymoon. Just the honeymoon.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke. It's
Hey.
So, guys, go check out that stream tomorrow, and the link is in the chat, so you can go directly there right now and give them a like and get your notifications turned on. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to do that. I don't know. I'm kind of just bouncing around watching whatever right now because nothing's really grabbing
I know.
me, so.
I need Delicious the Dungeon to come back. That's such a great comfort show.
Delicious the Dungeon?
I have a show for you. It's an animated show, but Kaiju number 8.
Oh, I love that show, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do number 8.
I've seen that show on a lot of lists with a lot of other good anime, so I might have to check that out.
It's really good.
Yep.
Okay. Then we got Sammy, who you are. You got a live album. You released your you went the hard way with your video too, because it's a great video. I've listened to it a couple times, watched it, and but like the Fleischman Superman that's kind of way off the board. So I'm impressed by that you didn't just go Zack Snyder rules and make a video about.
Yeah, it was more. I grew up with those cartoons, and it was just. I rewatched them again, and I was like, you know what? There's not a lot of stuff on this. I'm gonna make a video about it, and I'm still trying to figure out what the next one's gonna be. I have a couple ideas, but I think I like hanging out with you guys and going on other people's streams. But I think I'm just gonna stick to that evergreen content that just kind of seems to be my pace. There's no deadlines. I'm really not battling the algorithm. But I'm a big supporter of Gooch's animation block. I'm usually on all of those, because me and him have very similar opinions that, I think sometimes cartoons are the way to go. And I'll say it today. I think it's really one of animations, like one of the last bastions of like true creative freedom that you're going to see. You'll see a lot of things that you just can't see in live action, either just because of DEI or just lack of creative vision. But that doesn't seem to be a problem in the animation scope. And then I also like just hanging out with Roman. I'm usually with Shield Wall once a week, every Thursday. We're at the ass end of the Acolyte, and I will rebel if Roman ever tries to make us do that again.
He's planning on doing a full season retrospective.
I will cry.
No, I'm lying. He's not doing it.
No,
I'm never going to watch that show again.
Oh my god!
You gotta finish Hot D with us, me and Nadia, and you, and the Plot Strikes Back. And
Oh yep. No. I was like, unfortunately, I missed last week because I fell asleep in a chair, and my mom's like, "You need rest," and she didn't wake me up.
That's good momming, though.
Oh, thank you, Joshua. But yeah, and no, I've just been loving everybody in this community has been very good to me, very embracing, and I just broke 100 followers, so I'm hoping to grow that. But I know it's not the biggest thing in the world, but everyone's got to hit a milestone every now and then. So,
dude, that's all the milestones matter, and yeah, you should celebrate that. Don't put it's only 100. No, 100 is a lot of people. 100 is a lot of fucking people. It's not like that's a lot for this. So, yeah, don't beat yourself up. Alex is a nipple now. We missed your smiling face, but I love hot tea. I know you do. All right. So
You
go
just like
sub to
hot
Sammy. He's gonna get a second video soon.
Maybe yes. Yeah. So I have two ideas. I'm either gonna do. I was gonna do one on Batman 66, and then that just didn't pan out because someone did a very similar video to one I wanted to do, and so I was looking at one on Darkwing Duck that I wanted to do, but I also had this idea the other day. I don't know if you guys are like privy to what happened to In Praise of the Shadows and Wendigoon.
Yep. Yeah.
I was gonna do kind of like a commentary thing where I essentially start a YouTube war with myself.
Nice.
And kind of carry that out. So I do a documentary talking about Sammy Threepeat, and then I do a reactionary video talking about the false yeah, exactly. And then the third one would be I would comment on the drama that's going on between myself and myself. So
yeah, report your own channel.
Yeah, subscribe and unsubscribe to each one of them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, I am going to be. We're looking at doing a big Circle of Jerks show this weekend because last week was 69 with like an asterisk. This week will be the real 69 because that's a very special show for a show like that. And we have to do this right. And so
Yes,
stay tuned for that. We really, and I got lots of stuff.
Surprise special guests like Buds 398 or whoever that guy is.
You know what? He could still win this election. Like, let's not joke.
Yeah, don't joke about the president.
The way things look right now, you know.
Oh, that guy was funny.
Pukta has
Imagine
a shot.
if you could get that dude on your show.
Oh my god.
Well, he's in jail.
I want him to redecorate my house because he's a master of feng shui.
Yes. He's in jail, unfortunately, the fucker. Yeah, he's in jail.
How cool would it be if he could stream live from a stolen or from like a smuggled in prison phone?
Yeah, I would love it.
I
would love it.
I've been hiding this phone
And
in my
and
asshole.
the camera's like got like Vaseline all over the lens and stuff.
Here's our
I was letting him sleep in my lab because I pulled him from the rain, and that's where he's gonna go again. 3 hots in a cot, and all the anal sex you can handle, motherfucker.
I actually wasn't that far off. I feel like I'm getting better.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out Circle of Jerks this weekend, and then sub to all these good people. And let's pressure. Well, no, let's tell you all don't do your own thing. Just keep doing our things. We really need you around here. So,
Okay.
You're forbidden from having a channel, Shieldwall. With that, need you on your feet, Kitty. I know you love this song. Let's go, chat. Good night.
respect to the trans community. And fuck you, transphobes.
Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Transphobes, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Transphobes, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. You better watch out. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Transphobes gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in.
Just the ladies.